tekee maalin! Niin se vasti ajaa ja tekee sen maalin!
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Hello, NHL gamers, and welcome back to another edition of ECL Elite Action here. This is hopefully the first and only solo broadcast here featuring just me this time. Tugi is around. However, I have, successfully completed the transformation. I have consumed him, and I am all the more powerful for it. We'll see how this goes on its own here. We're going to do our best to kind of make things work. Tugi in chat, hyping things up as always. So we appreciate your guys' patience through all the technical difficulties that we have faced thus far, and we hope to get those sorted and get back to a more normal broadcast as best as we can call it here. So first things first, we're going to go look at today's matchups all across this division here. As you can see, Sawo Esports, Vesapampa, quite a few across the board. And our matchups here, we have Ique and Poggers, followed by Philadelphia and Färjestad, but also going on Northern Ascendancy, taking on Tunnel Vision, Kova and Havu, Goons, H-Reds, Jyväskylä, YMCA, and of course ZSC taking on Rusty Blades. A lot of interesting things happening, of course, across this division. And we'll see how they shake out when it comes to the standings, which we will give you a look at right now, and how everything's, been shaken out so far. Obviously, we got Havu up top. 8 games played, 6-1-1. However, those 2 games in hand for Philadelphia, who we will see play those out with a perfect 6-0 record, as well as H-Reds up there. You can see kind of that top, the big 3 at least, establishing itself thus far. Färjestad making a run for it, and surprisingly, as we mentioned, Jyväskylä not in the playoff picture right now. We said anything can happen. That definitely seems to be the case so far, as the standings are perhaps not even what we predicted, but they are what they are so far. Still a lot of time left for these teams to get themselves back in positions that they want to be in, and a lot of time for some of those teams at the bottom to perhaps work their way at least out of relegation, if not make a playoff push, which will bring us to the latest results so far. I'm not too sure if we do have any games played, but we can look just what has been played so far this week. As you can see, Ique and Rusty Blades went head-to-head, a tough, gutsy 1-0 victory in overtime for Ique, who then did drop the second one to Rusty Blades. Northern Ascendancy taking Kova Esports with a 4-0 shutout. Quite a few shutouts here in this one, and they get 4 points against Kova. That's huge for Northern Ascendancy, and Kova really seem to be struggling out of the gate so far. You see Havu had taken those 2 games off Poggers, but Poggers making it really tough for them, and I believe that H-Reds was, we saw going up against Jyväskylä with that 4-1 victory. Sawo 6-0 over Tunnel Vision. And, of course, that 7-1 stomping that we saw on last broadcast as well with H-Reds and Jyväskylä. Completely surprising and perhaps maybe telling for Jyväskylä season and when they're heading. And that second matchup was Sawo taking a 3-2 OT victory over Tunnel Vision. But enough about that stuff. We have a current matchup to talk about here. It is Ique and Poggers. You can see the stats on screen right now. Both of these teams sort of on, should be on the outside looking in if you look at the points percentage totals. However, Poggers, with all those extra games played, currently with a 5-5 record, finding themselves in the playoff picture. Although with those stats, perhaps not quite out of the question. 25 goals for, 21 goals against, and decent special teams numbers to go along with it. Ique, on the other hand, with 2 wins, only getting 7 goals for, that is impressive. They're going to have to find some more offensive production if they're really going to want a chance to start, working their way up the standings here, and it'll start today against that Poggers matchup. So let's get a look at the rosters and the lineups for today's game. On the side of Ique, you have Niepi, Leitinen, and Santeri up front, the 3 forwards. Looking to finally be able to do some damage on the backside. Make Axel and Nico. And of course, between the pipes is Pirza for Poggers. You got Jakari, Jorma, and Jansku on the front end. Terodi and Oyamoska filling in actually for Koski. That was a late change here. We got Oyamoska making his debut on defense. Remember, he did play center for SJ Gaming. And then, of course, in net, we have Eli Kamal. And it's going to be kind of interesting. These two teams maybe not where they want to be in the standings, but a chance to sort of make up some ground today. And we'll see what happens here. Let's get to the individual matchups here. We'll start off as we always do. The center matchup, Lehtinen and Jorma going head-to-head. You can see the numbers on screen right there. 4 goals for Lehtinen, just 1 for Jorma, but the point totals, that discrepancy is massive. Again, the games played may be a bit of a factor here, and the face-off matchup's going to be a bit interesting. Neither of these guys have an impressive win percentage, so really I think it might come down to where those face-offs are being taken. Offensive zone, defensive zone, where can you win it for your team? And how can you best support those wingers who are going to need to put up points, especially if you're Ique? So let's get to those matchups real quick as well. The wingers head to head. You got the captain Niepi and Santeri, of course. And again, not quite where they want to be in points. And it looks like we do have a wrong winger on screen there for Poggers. Oh, it is correct. Oh, all right then. All right, so we had a wrong matchup. That's okay. Everything's going to go wrong. It's all good. They're doing the best we can over here. And anyway, so Masi Kukari, I guess, making his debut as well, if I'm not mistaken there. So try to get that fixed on the sheet as well as soon as possible. That being said, good numbers for Jansku. I mean, 15 points in 10 games played, nothing really, to scoff at, especially those 12 goals. I mean, you could kind of see it. Jorma seems to be feeding Jansku quite a bit. We're going to see if that connection can continue to pay off here as this matchup goes on. And as we take a look next, we're going to be the defensive pairings and the defensive matchups here. And this is where the discrepancy gets kind of crazy. Another person making their season debut in Oyamoska for Poggers. Terrady already established point per game guy, 5 goals on the back end. I mean, that's impressive for a defense. But on the Ique side, both of them with 6 games played, only 3 points between the pair of them. That's got to improve, definitely for Ique, especially, for someone like Make Axel, who has that sort of, experience and good playing tendencies. He just simply hasn't got off to the start he wanted. Yeah, perhaps mainly known as a more defensive guy, high hit totals. Still, at this level, you're going to need contributions from all over the ice. But most important thing, you got to help out your goaltender back there, which brings us to that matchup. Pirza going head-to-head with Eli Kamal there. You can see neither of the numbers quite where they want to be, but still plenty of time left in the season. A rough start can hurt, and it makes your numbers look, not too good. But again, the sample size right now, currently, well, a bit smaller for one of them than the other, but, Eli Kamal not necessarily in a rough spot. The goals against average is pretty good, all things considered. Perhaps, the save percentage more indicative of high percentage chances going in rather than the high volume of shots. We'll have to see how that sort of thing, how that kind of stuff shakes out over the course of this matchup. So if I'm not mistaken, we should be getting everything set up pretty quick. The teams should be searching, but before we get into that, we're going to quickly go over the keys to success for both of these teams. We'll start off from left to right. Ique, their 3 keys for success here. The shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott said it best: if you don't take the shots, you can't score. So perhaps maybe it's time to throw the puck on net a little bit more. Only 44 shots across the board this year. That is the 3rd fewest for Ique. Gonna have to pick up the pace here, especially against a team which isn't too bad on the defensive side of things. The second point here being, can Pirza delivered? He is off to a bit of a rough start numbers-wise, so he's gonna really have to try to put up a strong showing to help his team and his own stats out. That being said, he will have to get some goal support here. Ique, it's time for you guys to get going. And that brings us to our 3rd and final point: deactivate. Make Axel has 0 points so far, as we addressed, and Nico has just 3 assists. If this team wants to get those offensive guns going, they're going to have to at least have a threat on the back end. Even if they don't put up points, you have to establish that a threat is there. Otherwise, a team can just happily collapse, keep the team to the perimeter and not have to worry about that. The defense really going to have to make themselves known as offensive contributors, or again, at least as offensive threats. That will bring us over to the Poggers side of things and their 3 keys for success here. The first one being positive ratio. Despite being just a 500 team currently, Poggers does have a positive goals for, goals against ratio, and solid production from all across the squad. These are good building blocks for a playoff push, but consistency is key. Can they keep that up? Although they already have played a third of their season, you could argue that, everything is there right now. That brings us to the next point here, sample size. Poggers is currently leading penalty minutes, shots, and hits, although, as stated before, this could be slightly misleading as they have either 2 or 4 more games played than any other team. We're going to have to see which one of these stats play a large factor, if at all. This matchup will be a good chance to sort of judge which of those are standing out as possible, boons or as possible problems for this club moving forward. And the third and final point here is the defensive debut. Oya Moska making his season debut on defense as he played center last year for SJ Gaming. If there is any rust present, he's going to have to shake it off quick. His team needs to pick up those points, and they need to do it pretty quickly here. As already stated, they have quite a few games played under their belt. So hopefully, as we continue to sort of get these things settled out and sorted as best as we can here, hopefully the teams are searching as we're trying to get word on that right now. But nonetheless, I mean, this matchup here, it really is, this is what the ECL Elite, in my opinion, is about. These sort of mid-level teams struggling to get into positions for success, no longer really, getting boxed out so much as they have in the past by, these elite top-tier teams. It's wide open here, as we called it, the Wild West in our preseason showing. It really is the case. And these two teams have every single opportunity. Now, the question is if they have the tools or the ability to capitalize on those opportunities. That will remain to be seen here. But again, this is a good building block for both of these teams. I mean, they're not going up against one of those giants in a playoff pot. This is no Philadelphia, Havu, or, even H-Reds matchup. This is a chance for them to sort of prove that they can pick up points that are within grasp, and perhaps later on in the season we'll see them maybe steal some points from some of these other teams here. But all things considered, as I said, this is, the chance for both of them to sort of get going. I mean, again, for Poggers especially, your season is 1/3 over. You don't want to be a 500 team at the end of things. That leaves you in too close a proximity to being on the bubble or pushed out of the playoff picture. And with how competitive everything has been after that roster apocalypse, you don't want to leave too many things up for chance. If you're IQ, bit of a rough start so far. Sure, you have as many points as the other team has wins, but as stated, less games played, more games in hand, more opportunity to make up that ground. But the more points that you let slip away across the course of the year, the rougher it can get as things, those rough beginnings and the rough games sort of start to take their toll, and they keep adding up, and definitely not where you're going to want to be at the end of the day. So I believe our Discord issues, at least for the East Coast, are continuing here. Trying to get the lobby is ready. So good. We got that going at least. At least one thing is working properly. Imagine if the EA servers went down about at this point. That would kind of, put GG's on the whole day and really cap off what has been definitely not a stressful morning for anyone here. I don't know why you would ask anything of the case. So we're going to cut into that as soon as we can here. I'm going to keep up the talking points as best we can. We do appreciate the raid there from Teal Shark. And if you are a fan of either IQ or Poggers, let them feel your energy in the chat. Hit those emoji buttons, get the hype going for them, because both of these teams, again, no one is out of the picture. I don't care if you have 0 wins so far in the season. No one is ever out of the picture here. You put together one good week, you string together a few wins, you're right back towards that 500 mark. It's early enough to do that. So, again, we're getting closing in on things, and there we are. No lobby, right to puck drop. That's what I like to see. We're going to have IQ in the white here going up on your screen, taking on Poggers in those lovely sort of teal greenish jerseys. And we'll see what happens here. Make Axel trying to lead the breakout here. Taken away there. I'm going to do my best to sort of pronounce that name correctly. Zero prep on that. Masu Kukare, who broke that play up in the neutral zone, but it's back to IQ. Getting that break in. Fed in front, the back. Oh my goodness, a chance out front. Double time Santri, and then Niepi on the follow-up opportunity. A bouncing puck in the slot. Always dangerous, but good patience right there from Ellie Counter. The counterattack coming in from Poggers. A shot on net. Deflected wide. Dangerous pass to the blue line right there. Slap shot on net, and it goes in. Jansku with the blast, rocking the gold helmet. and that won't change any time soon. What a shot, his 13th on the season. That's probably why he's leading his team in goals. Not afraid to shoot the puck, not a bad time to do it, not pressured much at all. Had time to cradle that puck, rifles it home, and Pirza, tough one to give up there on the short side. Excellent replay right there of the crowd reaction as well. Perfect for analysis as always. That will be an early lead for Poggers here. Not the start Ique would have wanted, but they're going to have to recover for it as Masi Kukari leading the rush. Gets in all alone. The puck bouncing in front off of the skate. What a save right there as Jorma on the doorstep almost knocks it home. Make Axel leading the rush back the other way. Sends it back. What a pick by Masi Kukari. He's been all over the place. The self-sauce just a bit much right there as Nico is able to cut him off with the body position and pick it up. Make Axel once again leading the rush. Really looking to help get his team going offensively, at least on the breakout. Sends it over to Nico. Santeri back to Nico, back down low, takes the shot on. Good positioning from Eli Kamel to make that stop, and we will have a face-off at the 13:42 mark of this first period. See what Ique is going to want to do here, but look at the shots taken from Poggers already. Not afraid to throw the puck on net. Unfortunately, that puck for Ique will bounce out. Gaining the line once again, it's Niepi, the captain, taking a shot from the point. I like the idea of it, maybe looking for the bounce. Rough pass right there is Leitinen, maybe a bit of miscommunication. Had a man down low, elected to go to the slot. And attacking the front again, a rough turnover. And that was Terity on the pinch with an in-tight opportunity. An ill-advised pass right there from Santeri. Ique will be forced to slow this one back down. And again, the neutral zone presence from Poggers, forcing these turnovers. Losing side of the puck, it looked like was Jansku. And unable to get that, but they're going to keep that down low. Looking for the pass out front. Good shot opportunity from Jansku. Once again, another turnover forced on the doorstep. Pirza gets over, makes the pad stop. Great positioning from him and reaction time. And I got to say, I'm impressed with Masi Kukari thus far in this game. He is all over the place. I'm seeing that pink icon in or around the puck, in or around scoring positions. He's going to have to keep that up here. And Ique, a bit on the ropes as we start off here, but a chance to sort of amend that. Again, bit of a miscommunication there as Nico was already in that, defensive one-timer position in the high slot. The puck sent all the way around. No one home to keep that alive, and some self-inflicted wounds for the most part coming out from Ique right now as Poggers force another turnover. Looking for the breakout. Good pressure right there from Niepi. Niepi sends it back off the post there. Leitinen on that short side trying to go for a quick counter right there. Get themselves a goal, but not to be. Good positioning from Make Axel, reading that someone was way up front there, did not want to allow him to get around him there on the rush. Want to help out their goalie as much as possible here late into the first period. Pass up, zone entry, unfortunate spin right there from Santeri. Really no fault of his own. That can happen sometimes at the blue line. Precision skating, still, not quite there at times, but that's all right. Figure things out here. Face-off won by Ique, sent up. Good positioning there by Poggers to intercept that, stop that break-in once again. Leaned away, tries the pass out front to Jorma there. Was unable to make that connection, but Santeri back the other way, sends it over to Niepi. Nico recovering, unable to gain the line once again. Poggers done a great job in the neutral zone all period so far, really forcing Ique to second guess themselves at times, and that's the mental battle showing up right there, but they do find some space on the left-hand side. Leitinen sends it back. Make Axel back down low. Nice little give and go there, looking for a rollout play. Not quite there. The shot on, the rebound, and Santeri tucks it home on the doorstep. That's what they're looking for. The shot on low, and that will be, I believe, Make Axel's first point of the season, a primary assist. Good job to just throw that puck on net. That's what they needed to do here, and they did it. They didn't score in the shot, but you took the shot, and a goal resulted because of it. Excellent job from Ique to tie this one up late into the first period. And it may not be done quite yet. Back on the rush, though. One-timer. Or, sorry, no, the slap shot, almost a deflection, and the rebound sitting right there again. Slap pass off the boards, doesn't connect. And Ique back in on the attack. Excellent defensive skill stick right there from Terity to break that up. And Jorma with the pressure, not allowing Ique to get another chance here in the dying moments of that period. But you can kind of see the shift in their players right there. Ever since that goal was scored, they started getting a lot more pressure. And, it just seemed like I don't know if you could talk about body language when it comes to a player like in a video game, but it definitely seemed, the way they're positioning their players, they had a lot more confidence. They were a lot more sure of themselves in the dying moments of that first period. They were trying to force more plays. They weren't afraid to put the puck on net. And perhaps that's something that Ique have needed all season. Maybe they're figuring it out here, getting themselves that tying marker. Excellent job and an excellent, kind of building block going into the second period. Poggers, I'd say, looked great early on, probably won the first half, maybe first 2/3 to 3/4 of that period. But after that, Ique really found something that was working, began to take over. Look at the amount of shots taken, 9 shots to 7. I think that's the most period total that we've seen from really any matchup on this broadcast so far. As we get another look at that first goal, had a lot of time there. I mean, Ique didn't really pressure him. Time to dust that puck off, step into the slot, and blast it home. As we're getting another look. Great job on Ique Axel, shooting for that far side low, away from the stick and blocker, so it's harder for the goaltender to kind of, direct that, get the animation to direct that puck into the corner boards. Good awareness from him, and obviously recognizing where Santeri was on the ice. The rebound play works out as the second period gets underway here, and Ique get the possession off the draw, taking their time a bit on the breakout, actually taking it all the way back to their own hash marks here, but picked off there on the break-in once again. Poggers still doing a good job holding that line. You're not going to keep a team out of there completely, but a bit of a cross-up right there as Jorma and Jansku got a bit, ran into each other a bit on that break-in attempt, giving Ique a chance here on the transition, but again, well broken up. And we're going to have a penalty here. Actually, it'll be Ique going to the box for a hook. It is the captain. I believe that was Santeri, actually. And he'll be going to the box here, so penalty kill for Ique, a good tie-up play, and you saw him on the doorstep. Jansku positioning for that one-timer, but they couldn't quite connect on it. Sent back down low. And we'll see how they want to set up this power play. Working the perimeter so far, wait for that space to open up. A bit of a tough one right there as he couldn't quite angle his player correctly to get that pass away, and they lose his own, but right back in. Jorma over to Masi Kukari. Jorma! And that one's got to hurt. Pirtsa gets a huge piece of it, but it sneaks in on that short side. Once again, Jorma taking the shot from the high slot and finding its way to the back of the net. Capitalize on the power play, but more off of the rush. And yeah, again, that's, tough one to let in if you're Pirtsa, but I'm not too sure what else you could do in that situation. He played it pretty well. He had to still, be aware of the other passing opportunities, either the give and go or the one time there. Couldn't commit, too hard to either direction. So good job by Jorma to just take that shot there. And, again, tough one to kind of give up if you're Pirtsa, but it happens. You're going to have to just deal with it. But, that's why you cannot take those penalties. We didn't get a good look at it. I'm not too sure where the hook was taken. Nonetheless, it ends up in a goal against. And Ique once again having to play from behind. It's Masi Kukari trying to break that puck in, gets taken away. We're going to have a man breaking loose. A hit. Oh, the slap pass hits him on the rump right there. Maybe aiming for the boards. Nonetheless, a good attempt right there. Just an unfortunate result as Nieppe had both of those defenders beat. Entering the zone now is Masi Kukari. Gets it taken away right away as Nieppe leading that rush once again. Again, closed off on the boards. I believe that is Terity right there saying it all the way over. Down low. Kicked back up to the slot for Oyamoska, taking the shot, and Jansku, the recipient of another good bounce, and again, the short side goal happens. Pirtsa cannot believe it. He wants to buy a new glove and a new left pad after this one is up, and apparently a new puck. This puck is bouncing in perhaps some of the most unfavorable ways right now, but that's kind of going for either side, but Poggers so far the recipient of the better of them, getting that 3-1 marker. Good positioning. That comes from experience. Jansku right there, finding himself in position to get that goal. It came from a good cycle. Poggers working the puck around, taking the shot, and everyone, good space, good gaps between everyone on the ice, not overloading too hard, and they get rewarded with a goal. Ique looking for a quick strike once again, and they'll actually draw the penalty right there. Put themselves on the power play as the trailer right there looking for that pass gets tripped. Let's get to see Ique's power play go to work here. See if Lightning can win this draw. Cannot. Good. Looking like they were playing. It was a stick lift win. And I believe actually it's their center in the box. So that would have been Jansku taking the draw. and winning it right there. We often see that happen. You know, you have the center matchup. You get used to how one guy takes a faceoff, someone else steps in, and ever so often they seem to sort of win that first one. I don't know if that's recency bias or perhaps a bit of a trend here, but Ique getting that puck back in. We'll see how they want to establish themselves as another trip is taken. A bit careless with the stick right now are Poggers, and it's going to be a 54-second 5-on-3 advantage for Ique, as we're actually going to see a timeout being taken, an early timeout being taken, but Poggers really don't want to give Ique, any sort of benefit here. Some people may question, taking a timeout when you only have 3 guys on the ice. It depends on how gassed those 3 guys are. Again, you don't want to take a penalty. We're going to get another look at that latest goal score. It's a fundamental play, the D-to-D one-timer, and it creates a bounce or a rebound or perhaps just a goal right off the bat. That time it was a bounce and a rebound, but either way, that comes from practice. It's not pure luck here. We're going to see what happens, another tie-up play. But it's Ique, and the puck went out. Oh, deep defensive one-timer right there. A lot of things happening so quickly right there. Nico with the blast, but it was almost Lehtinen who could have taken that shot, perhaps not expecting to get that puck in the situation he did. Elected to pass that back, almost resulted in another chance. We'll see what happens here. Good face-off win. Tries the pass down low instead of perhaps the Nico one-timer, and actually results in that puck going back out. So the 5-on-3 just about over here. They'll get one more rush, so maybe a break-in, easier break-in, but they got the guy coming out. He's going to have to watch out the back pressure. Excellent job from Jorma to break that play up before it developed. Pass into the slot. Now be Nieppe over to, I think that was Santeri who got his stick on it. Either that or is Lehtinen, by the looks of it. The center actually got the last touch on that. Excellent job. As quick as I was praise Poggers right there. What a play right there from Nieppe, holding on to that puck, protecting it, and forcing that cross crease over to Lehtinen, who taps that one in. No chance for the goaltender on that one, and they do make Poggers pay for their lack of discipline. Unfortunately, not within the 5-on-3, so we'll be back to 5-on-5, but that's still a step in the road to recovery here. One step closer to a tie game. And Ique, coming into this one, averaging just 1.4 goals for per game, have found their second one here. They're going to have to get another one just to tie it, but plenty of time on the clock to do so. We'll see what happens. They have good responses so far. Let's see if they can gain an advantage. Again, trying to go for that quick pass up the middle. Looks like Poggers has wisened up to it, though. The pass down low, miscommunication. No one behind the net right there. It's 3 guys going to the slot. Huge hit right there. Forces the turnover. The shot on net from Santeri. But it's Eli Kamel making that save right there. And, halting play as this period wears on. Another offensive zone faceoff. See if Lehtinen can win this. Sustain some pressure right there, but a good win from Jorma. And the DDD pass behind the net, looking for the breakout play. Teredy and Oyamoska playing with the behind the net. Good job of trying to position, but I like it. Kicking the guy back up to the slot. The lead pass goes straight to the other team. A nice attempt right there to hit Nieppe. Cutting across. May have been able to split the D, but a good defensive positioning intercept. And turn that one right around. But Maki Axel leading the rush. Good pass over to Santeri to get the break in. The spin pass, and Maki Axel, unfortunately, not on the side he's used to, facing the boards on that one, unable to reach out and grab that puck. They're going to be forced to take it in. What a poke right there from Jansku, breaking up perhaps an odd man, looking for an odd man of their own. The wrap chance, well defended. The bouncing puck going and changing hands about 3 or 4 times like a hot potato. Nieppe trying to hope for that reach back and get some speed going, was unable to do so. Good defensive play right there at the blue line from Ique. And they get the zone entry, though. Does Poggers a bit of a broken 2-on-1. What a pass back! And that would be Jorma capitalizing it behind the legs. Pass to the trailer, using that 1T option as bait, creating just a little bit of space needed. And, again, just an excellent job. That is tremendous, absolutely tremendous vision right there. As you saw, Maki Axel actually went down to block that cross crease attempt. You'll see it right there. Number 4 hitting the ice, and actually looks like him in the, oh man, that's some rough luck. In the action of getting up from that shot block, it hits off his chest and trickles 5-hole. I gotta say, Pirza hasn't played poorly whatsoever. Just a bit of a string of bad luck for him in this first game. Nonetheless, another 2-goal lead here from Poggers. But man, shout out for that pass. What awareness. But we're gonna see Maki Axel here leading the rush with a head of steam. And good stick right there from Janski. He's been really good on that defensive side of things with that skill stick, creating havoc in all three zones, really, forcing those turnovers, creating some offense. We'll see him leading that rush, trying to force that pass through to, I believe that was Jorma, but we're going to see Miepi coming back the other way. Tries it between the legs and move, but it's Terity laying the hit on and forcing him to kind of regather himself after losing that puck. But Ique with it once again. Yeah, they've had a bit of those issues, kind of miscues on the passes here, where they're thinking one player is going to be somewhere and the pass is just a little bit off. Oh my goodness, Masi Kukari looking for Janska on that one time. As the second stick down, a good save. Two of them at the end there for Pirza to keep this game within reach. Going into this third period, 14 shots to 10 in favor of Poggers. However, the majority of time on attack has been Ique. That could be a bit of, because of that, extended power play that they did have. But it seems like when Poggers gain the zone, they don't waste too much time in getting a chance right here. As, perhaps on that play, Pirza a little bit slow to get over to cover that short side. But again, he got a giant chunk of that. And that play right there, not a whole lot he could have done, as that puck just bounced out right to Janska's stick, who is, again, we say it all the time, good to be lucky to be good. And I believe he has, 14 or 15 goals on the season for him thus far. Getting a few here in this matchup so far, and it's only the first game. Has another chance to really extend the totals here as this third period will get underway. What can Ique do to get back into this? I wouldn't say they've played poorly at all, but here come Poggers once again. If they can maybe tighten up just a little bit, don't allow Poggers to get some of the chances that they've been getting, just limit them as best as they can. But they're in on the attack right now. Santeri passes it back to Leitinen. DDD pass to Make Axel. Back to Nico. Oh my goodness, what a recovery from Ali Camel to stop that one on the doorstep. The rebound chance. My goodness, that was a heck of a save right there. Remember that one. Rough pass right there. Make Axel. The recipient tries the one time in the slot. Nico will actually be the one to recover it. Tries to go down low to Santeri, but well intercepted. And it looks like that will be Jorma leading the rush. Has the pass, and guess who? Jansku. And that will be perhaps the one to put it just out of reach. Again, Ique looks like the better team. They're getting the chances. They have the zone time, but a huge save from Ellie Campbell. And then Poggers get it on the rush back the other way. The pass over from Jorma to Jansku, and he gets another one. Again, that's just a rough situation. You have the defenders there, but great job of just getting the step needed on his defender and tucks that one home on the one-time. Poggers, the quick strike ability of this team. It's really coming to roost here in this game. It's now a 3-goal lead. If Ique want to start this comeback, they got to get goals quick, sure, but they've got to find a way to shut down this high-flying Poggers offense, because they seem to be doing just whatever they want at this point, and they're back in on the attack. Tried to force that saucer out front. Oh my goodness, Jansku, an absolute menace out there. Getting that puck again and putting that one on at this point, just throwing pucks on net, and why not? It's seeming to give you, some beneficial bounces, some good luck here and there as they get yet another zone entry, and that's the danger here. You have to open things up if you're Ique. However, it could become a bit of a hassle here as we see Poggers all over it. Great forecheck from Jorma to get that turnover. Looking to establish the attack here, fending off the heat. Masi Kukari, good pass to the point to Terity, who sends it back down low, and Jorma gets it. Back up to the point to Terity. Had a high one-time option, elected not to take it, turns it over. And here come Ique on the rush, sends it over to Make Axel. Make Axel tries to take the shot, bouncing puck. However, great stop right there as Santeri got the puck, and a good adjustment from Ellie Campbell to close off that glove side. And trying to keep the attack alive. Good pinch from Make Axel. Can't keep it in, though. And Jansku will lead the breakout the other way. Tries the off-the-board move. Still comes up with it. And Jorma leading the attack back. And it would be Masi Kukari. Quick passes right there. Not probably all he wanted on that shot. And Ique will take it back the other way. Good shot on net. Just too much traffic right there. You see what they're trying to do. Get deflections, get tips, get rebounds, get the puck in down low. A good pass right there, but well defended from Make Axel to break that one up after he received it. Good job on the line right there. I believe that's Terity all the way up there, forcing them out. And yes, getting that puck himself. What play right there. And he's still got it. Terity, a one-man wrecking crew out there, keeping the puck out of the zone. And once again, Masi Kukari, Poggers are able to stop Ique from getting that puck in. They get it in now, though. Has the puck, looking maybe to pass that one back. Just too much pressure from Jansku there, but they get it. Nice pass over to Nico on that one time to keep it alive for the time being. Sent out. They'll probably gladly take the icing in that scenario as Ique was starting to mount the pressure. They get a chance to, take a breather here, relax, perhaps win a face-off. We'll see what Jorma can do, and we'll see if Ique has any tricks up their sleeve for a face-off play. Time is running out, just a little under 5 minutes to go for them to get this going, but it's the tie-up play. And here they come, a 2-on-1 developing. Jansku sends it over, a great dive right there from Make Axel. No bouncing puck off his chest into the net this time, but Masi Kukari, great L skating, trying to weave that one in, maybe looking for that backhand chance. Just, at this point, why not? Protect the puck, just get an in-tight chance. Didn't quite have the pass right there, but Ique, they get the turnover, and they draw a penalty right here. So Poggers, again, not the time you want to get into penalty trouble, and if Ique score quick here, you never know what can happen with the real-time last minute. But, yeah, another good tie-up play. However, get the puck back. Good one-time opportunity. The defenseman, you can see they play a little bit a little bit deeper now into that low slot. The quick umbrella play, but Poggers was ready for it, breaking that up. Bouncing puck, and he just couldn't react quick enough. The bouncing puck again out front. Scramble in the crease, and Ique is just seeming to be snake bitten right now, unable to get good wood on those shots. And Ellie Camel where he needs to be at the right time. A little bit of scramble sliding happening, but doesn't end up paying for it. Another big face-off play right here. Ique, they've got to find the back of the net. Another tie-up. And just going back to the well. It's working. It's working. Why not keep doing it? Down low. And Poggers once again trying to send that one out. Good job from Nico to keep that one in. Pass into the slot. Nico on the one time, and a great job from Poggers continuing to get into these shooting lanes as Leitonen rings one off the post right there, and Nico a bit too, deep into that high slot to be able to keep that one alive. The penalty has been successfully killed. Back to 5-on-5, but the last real minute. I like the idea right there from Niepi to slow down and delay. Huge pickoff right there. Ique not afraid to dive to try to break those plays up, but Poggers. 2-on-1 developing. Jansku, and why not test that short side, says Jorma, as he rifles one just over the net. As Nico trying to make that headway pass, but it's Masi Kukari testing that short side, blocker side, and Leitonen. Fortunate pickup on the doorstep, and no own goal either. Kept that one out, but unable to gain the line, and that one will just about do it here as Poggers gets the puck out. Maybe one more icing. No. Will be washed out here, but under 10 seconds to go. Looks like Tarity wanted to take someone's head off right there, but it might cost them some stats here. As you can see, Ellie Campbell was caught sliding there, and had that pass made it across, Ique would have scored, although it would have been too little too late, as we see Poggers here picking up the first W of this 2-game set. And, you got to be impressed. That was some good performance from them. Again, at times, Ique did look like the better team. They were getting the majority of the chances, it seemed, or at least the zone time, I shall say. Obviously, the chances and the higher quality, I would say, went to Poggers, and more importantly, they capitalized on their chances, and that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. You can get all the shots you want, you can have all the zone time that you want, but if you don't capitalize on your opportunities, if you don't capitalize on those shots, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So I did like the mentality from Ique. They were taking shots. Look at that, 16 shots taken total. But at the end of the day, it was Poggers coming out on top. You can see how the shots were even. Ique had the majority time on attack, but again, at the end of the day, I feel like, Poggers, they capitalize on those opportunities, and that's really what it came down to. And at this point, I believe we're going to go to perhaps a bit of a break as we're continuing to try to, keep these technical issues in check, or at least try to figure them out. But for right now, we're going to kick to a break and hear from some of our lovely sponsors who make this ECL Elite season and ECL in general possible.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa. Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Hello, everybody. Look at this. Here we are, an hour later than at least when I was supposed to be here. I hope you very much enjoyed that first game covered by Sin. Again, in case you ever needed a reminder of who is the straw that stirs the drink here, it is that guy. At the end of the day, though, we are just about ready to go. Finally, can you believe it? Our second game between Poggers and Ique. I didn't think there'd be a head-to-head series that could kind of match up. Along with Havu going to 5 overtimes in the first game of the season, but here we are. This might hit the time record.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just too much downtime in between everything. But yeah, it was an incredible first game. Really, I think both teams showed some strength in certain areas, and I like that Ique seemed to be getting a lot more chances and weren't afraid to throw that puck on net. With low shot totals throughout the course of the season. So the willingness to make changes is there. Now it's just, can they execute as well as keep Poggers from getting on the board as often as they did before?
I mean, you called out the shot attempts as well throughout that first game. Very interesting in how that played out. Again, a big victory there for Poggers, 5-2, a strong performance from the likes of Pirza between the pipes as well. We'll see if he can be as strong in this one. Ique on the breakout here, the home team in this game. Huge hit there at the line and going back down the other way. Here's Terity stepping up. Double team in the corner, but the puck's out. Ique looking to lead it back down the other way. Mistimed at the line, but onside. Around the back of the net, it is played on. Poggers back in possession here. And Sin, I mean, that first game really did go to show. You look at the season so far, Ique, of course, the former Enigma, winning promotion last year. You go up against a team in Poggers, though, that just missed out on the playoffs. You could say that there are levels to this game, right?
Yeah, definitely. And, Poggers, a bit more established in that regard and definitely kind of showed it. They capitalized on Ique's mistakes and they weren't even egregious mistakes, just tiny lapses in coverage or tiny, a little bit of time that Pirza was struggling to get over and they, put pucks home. I mean, that's just what separates, those playoff teams from the ones just on the outside.
Back down the other way here, an errant pass recovered. Forced to turn back, though. The forechecking there from Santori to break that one up. Ique back in possession now. And energy recovered. We'll go back down the other way. Again, if you're just joining us, a 5-2 victory for Poggers in the first game. Ique, though, nearly striking first. Great chance there on the doorstep. Ellie Kamel able to make that stop. Puck loose, pinching defenseman here. Shot blocked down in the slot. See how Poggers recovered the quick out. Banked off the winger. Never really had that one along the ice. A bit too much air under that slap shot. And this time to the line there. Sin just about halfway through this first period. Interesting how the pace is going after what we saw in that first game.
Yeah, kind of similar in some ways. Poggers doing a pretty good job of holding that line and not really allowing Ique to get any of those dangerous chances. So partially, part of the reason why they had to throw that puck on net from some of the perimeter and get going, but we'll see what they are able to establish on this entry.
As that shot finds a way through, and the rebound was there. Lehtinen has the goal. Glitching through the glass and all, has the goal. He's a magic man. Ique strikes first.
Absolutely, and that was kind of their bread and butter a lot for that last game, and you saw it. It disappeared a little bit towards the end when Poggers was doing a better job of protecting, those shooting lanes. But I mean, Ique did that all throughout that first one. They go back to the well, the shot on net, looking for the deflection or the rebound. Lehtinen able to pick it up, put that one home, and they're the ones who take the lead in this one.
All three forwards picking up a point on that play. See how Poggers respond. Chance there. Wide one up. Pirza forced to make a couple of big stops, and he does. And we saw some big saves, some unfair chances. Here we go. The play. The shot just wide of the post. The captain, the Epi. Great opportunity there. Off of that quick outlet. See how Poggers can do. Shot on. Glove stop there by Pirza. Quick play out as well. May pay for it. That one off the side of the net and out of play. Sin, I mean, we saw that in the first game. Pirza got picked off glove side a couple of times. Once, off a screen, off an unlucky bounce. Looks like they're still aiming there.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, keep going back to it. At least, keep testing him on it. If it looks like somewhere where you can score, definitely keep going back to it. But Ique, playing that puck out, perhaps wanting to keep that pace up.
Layton in the goal scorer. Shovels one off to the side of the goal. Ellie Camelo will be able to cover this one. And we talked about it for Poggers. It was a big first win given their lineup changes heading into tonight's action. Trailing here in this one. Face-offs are close. Another thing, of course, Sin pointed out there. In our pregame, the less than ideal numbers. Huge hit at center ice. Tarity is down. Number advantage here for Ique. Tarity trying to get back into the play. Maybe a missed opportunity there for Ique. Lehtinen not able to get that one on net either. Sin, you would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a sense of urgency there perhaps, but here's Lehtinen back to the point. Axel tried to fire one through. Second chance for Lehtinen, still loose. Around the back of the net now. Nieppe has it. One-timer and a big kick stop there by Ellie Kamel. So Poggers on the back foot in this one so far. Into the attacking zone. On the back of the net, back and again, knocked loose. Chance here. Sauce pass just couldn't find its way to Nieppe. An adventurous pass, to say the least. Axel knocks it loose off the spin move. Final minute of play here in the first. No shortage of talking points. Heading into the intermission. Space here. Nieppe can't get all of that shot. Intercepts it here down low. 8 seconds to play. Axel has it. Looking, throws it across, straight into the awaiting arms of Maisu Kakari. And that will bring us to the end of the first period here, Sin. Again, no shortage of talking points.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this time we saw, I think it was like 7 or 9 to 6 shots after the first period of that one. Just 5 total shots in this one. So maybe a different kind of mentalities here going forward, but I like it. And, Ique didn't seem to change that mentality up, going for those, those shots on net. But I saw them attempt it once in the last game, that slap pass to Nieppe. Last time it kind of hit him and they weren't able to make anything of it. That time it led to a tremendous chance. And again, they tried to go back to it a couple times. You saw that Sauce attempt up the middle. I kind of wonder if, he wasn't able to take that slop shot. It was good positioning from Tarity and Oyamoska to sort of, force, having to, put that pass directly up the middle rather than the slap pass. Either way, nothing came of that second opportunity, but Ique, at least Nieppe, finding ways to get behind that deep.
Santari looked to have a little bit of space there, not able to hold on to it. Nieppe dishes down low. Good movement here from Ique, but again, just couldn't get that short side lane. But a slower start from Poggers in this one. I mean, again, played with the lead for the majority of that last game. Chance for them. That one's just wide of the post. Jorma making a play for that one. Good pass again. I mean, we're seeing some really good movement from this Ique squad right now in their build-up play. They're just not able to get those passes that they need into the slot. Good pressure here on Tarity. Presumably not still dealing with that injury. Has it now. Maisu Kakari looking, bumped off the puck. Relentless pressure from Nico. One-timer doesn't find its way through. Still in the attacking zone, though, here for Poggers. Around the back once more. Intercepted by Nico. Good bit of protection there from Nieppe to drop it back soon.
Yeah, and it's good to see that Ique has figured out those break-in passes, because that was something that they did struggle with a bit in that last game.
Deflection nearly put into their own goal. Close call for Tarity there. Ellie Kamel will make the stop.
Yeah, that one looked a bit scary. I guess it was a stick, but it looked like something trickled behind the goaltender. It must have been that, or else just great job by Ellie Kamel to sort of stop that and get the cover. That was a bit scary for him.
Poggers back in possession again, winning that first game. Scored 5 goals in the process. Held off the board so far. Snipe opportunity just by blocker side. Wraparound bid taken away as well off the contact. Santari, now Lehtinen trying to hold on to it. Down low in the corner, looking for an outlet. He finds it with Axel. Follow-up pass not there. Poggers getting more aggressive in the neutral zone. Picked up, thrown in front, second chance, and a stop by Pirza. Jorma stuck with the play on that one.
Yeah, Jansku's play has really impressed me thus far. I mean, he's a great goal scorer, obviously, but that play right there, what a pass across the slot. The saucer, no look to Jorma, who just wasn't able to get a clean grasp.
There's a shot there, blocked down by Santari. Good self-sauce there off the boards. A little bit of space in the Epi. Has that one taken away by Oyamoska again. Not normally a defender, but filling in here today with the presumed 2 options ahead of him unavailable. Or at least Mikoski unavailable. Of course, they also had the change up front, but And they're looking solid in this game. Poggers coming back down the other way. And that low cycle just off the mark. Good physical play to try and win it back. And a much better overall performance from Ique. And a power play will be coming up as well. A tripping call. Will they need the man advantage is the question. And the Epi has it. Over to Leighton. The centerman holds. Extra attackers out. Holding around the blue line. Goaltender here. Tried to get the pass in front. Just couldn't do it. Decent look from Pirza. Ique to the man advantage, then.
Yeah, and this is good for them. Poggers, you said it, they're not able to establish any sort of attack, which is almost throwing them for a loop. You got to credit Ique from being able to sort of stifle that, because there was plenty of holes for Poggers to be able to capitalize in that last one. However, they are able to get the clear, and look at Jansku trying to maybe get a chance there, but he will have burned some energy. What a defensive skill stick, though.
That was a great poke check to knock that one loose. Burn a little bit more time. Knocks it loose once more. Space here for Jorma. He's got a step. Throws it back and deflected in front again. Great job by Ique to block these shots, but we have a shorthanded goal. And again, Sin, it's a bouncing puck that finds its way past Pirza.
Yeah, Pirza won't be buying any lottery tickets this week. I don't think. That's about the second or third that's he's gotten a good piece of, but still somehow found its way in. That was an odd one, bounced, and then he, kind of flailed looking behind him. Not too sure if he knocked it in or if it was already heading in that direction. Nonetheless, not a goal that you would want to see. And it looks like it took a hop either off a stick or a skate. I'm not too sure, but that created, a bit of havoc for him right there. And Poggers tied up short-handed.
Jorma, the centerman, credited with the goal. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage here for Ique. See if they can get that one back. Couple D-to-D passes. Pass in front, it banks in off of a skate, or maybe, just maybe, Niepi got a piece. He's credited with the goal. Sin, the goals cancel each other out. Ique back up by 1.
Absolutely, and that happened so quick, but it looks like, he actually got the clean shot off, and, what a play right there. The quick feed over, tap, and a goal, and that's how you respond right there to adversity. Taking that lead back for Ique, and now Poggers are going to have to respond once again.
They're coming back down the other way. Loose puck picked up. Antari able to stop that one. 3 minutes to go now. 2 goals in a matter of moments there. A shorty followed up by the power play. And Ique back up by 1 now after dropping that first game 5-2. So much better performance here. Poggers were a little bit more efficient with their offensive attacking time, and seemingly doing the same here in game 2. Space here for Make actually going down the other way. Has Niepi now in the middle. We're gonna cut back. Got a bit too fancy. Go on the breakaway. He scores on the backhand. Sin, you called him out with the defensive skill sticks and the defensive positioning. It paid off there. They messed around with the puck just a few too many times.
Yeah, it's always dangerous to kind of do those delay plays on the blue line, and when you have a forward up there doing it, perhaps not as used to it as a defenseman, Jansku came up, smelled blood in the water, stripped that puck, got himself on the breakaway, and tucked it home on Pirza. What a great individual effort, and another goal for him in this series. Again, I think that's his 16th perhaps at this point, or it's unreal. His just the way he's able to find himself in these situations. It's not by accident, it's by design. What a talented nose for the net he has.
Had 3 goals for Poggers in the previous game, so his 4th of the night. Now up, as you said, Sin, to 16 goals on the season. 2 seconds to play. That will see us through 2-2 heading into the third period. And Sin, right now, again, their leading goal scorer, their leading point getter, Jansku, carrying the weight for Poggers, and that is honestly 2 rough goals for Ique to give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I would honestly say more so than they were in the last one. They were probably the better team throughout most of this game, actually. But yeah, the shorthanded goal, something that you can't really have happen. That breakaway goal off the turnover, something, again, that you don't want to have happen. The thing is, despite Ique looking like the better team, despite them having majority of possession, Poggers capitalizes on a couple opportunities that they were given. And again, that's just, the learning curve for IQ here. You can play as good as you can, but if you have those lapses in coverage, you have those lapses, if you, get too cute with that puck or whatever, it's just a team like Poggers, any team really in this elite division worth their salt will be able to make you pay for it. And they now have to face a tie game instead of a lead here in this third period.
Early offside call there against IQ. 2-2-1 heading into action today. Can't necessarily afford, Sin, to walk away from this matchup without points. I mean, you mentioned it in the pregame. Every point matters when you're playing a team that isn't considered one of the elite top 3 to 4. Great chance there! And a penalty is called. Interference. It'll be an IQ power play. Sin, I thought we had a goal right there to give IQ the lead.
I don't know how that stayed out. Santeri, the puck rimmed off the back glass. He got a shot on it, I thought, and somehow ended up in the glove of Eli Kamel.
So again, 1-for-1 on the power play, but they also surrendered a shorthanded goal before that conversion. This one's cleared out. Ique Axel stops it from going all the way down. But nobody home on that pass in front. Again, the puck is cleared. Poggers in possession. Still holding on to it. Kari tried to find Yorma, unable to do so. 45 seconds to go now on this power play. Ique holds. Circles out. Good movement here. D-to-D passes. Ique Axel down to the center in front. Good set play. Good movement. But again, the interception was there. This one's down. That'll do it for that man advantage. So one decent bit of cycling, but at the end of the day, not the most dangerous power play in the world for IQ. This one will go all the way down without icing. Let's see what IQ can do going back down the other way now. Ique has it. Along the half wall, cutting back, has options. Tried those 2 quick passes to the point. You can see that forward pressure from Poggers really looking to step up and force those turnovers. Here's Jansko. Has the tying goal. Good passing here. Jansko has it again. Pass over. Backhand. Dangerous as Pirza was moving around, but here comes IQ down the other way. Ique on the off wing loses it. Again, good quick movement. Jansko back to the point. Trouble here, though. Ique, Santari, 2-on-1 for IQ. Santari's in and a big-time stop by Eli Kamel. Saying he stood tall on that one.
Yeah, and had to stand tall right there as his defenseman sort of gave up the pass, tried to pressure that puck carrier, maybe hoping to take him off guard, but Asante got in all alone, and what a save that was.
That shot off the draw was off the skates of the centerman who recovers here. Lehtinen goes back to the point again. Playing with fire, perhaps. Good D-to-D work. Shot on deflection. Bid. Sin Santari's been everywhere in this game. Always dangerous in the attacking zone.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. It might have been him who absolutely decked Masi Kukari in the zone to force that turnover and keep the play alive. Nonetheless, they got another offensive zone face-off here, but Poggers have gotten the majority of the draws. As you saw that flash on screen, that's going to be 14-5 now.
In the attacking zone, can't get that pass across, but still fighting for it. Chance there on the doorstep. Pirza able to make the save after the loose puck was recovered by the attacker in front. Halfway through this third period, tied at 2. Anybody's game still.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, Janska on the doorstep as he has so often been found getting, a chance with that shot. And look at him forcing that turnover again at the blue.
Loses it on the spin move, though. Santari able to recover. 8.5 to play now. Ique drops down low for Santari. Not able to find that follow-up pass. Still fighting for it down low in the corner. Turned over. Loose puck into the slot. Recovered by Poggers. And go down the other way with it, but great back pressure. Santari's been incredible this game so far. So.
Yeah, and a little bit of perhaps miscommunication between Terity and Yorma there, kind of running into each other on the rush play. And that kind of aided Santeri in getting back. Yeah, you said it. He's been tremendous.
Here's Terity behind the defense. Pass across doesn't go. End-to-end action down both sides of the ice. Just a matter of who's going to find that breakthrough at this stage. If this style of play continues, as this one again back into the neutral zone. They find the pass to the line. In front, shot blocked, recovered. Jansko holds it down low, but not for long. Ique Axel's there. Smart play to send it around the back of the net. Again on that stretch pass to Santeri, nowhere to go, recovered. Movement here to hold, there's the turnover, but Jansku couldn't control it. Sin, you talk about playing with fire right now. Jansku is all over those passes at the blue line. Very, very fortunate for Ique. They're back in the attacking zone here. Lehtinen down low. One-timer scores! Out of nowhere, Nico with the bomb from the point, and Ique. Sin, they played with fire, but they have the goal there. First goal from a defenseman this season, by the way.
Yeah, and it's Nico. I mean, what a play. They've gone to that a couple times there, kicking that puck back out to Nico there, who takes a big shot, and it initially looked as if it maybe hit a leg or a stick of one of the defensemen on its way through. We'll get a great look at it right here. Well, almost. It almost looks like that just went straight through the 5-hole there, as Eli Kamel perhaps didn't get the animation that he would have wanted, and once again, you know, not going butterfly right there to prevent that low shot, and Nico gets the goal. A huge late goal here from Ique to take the lead.
1 minute to play here. Poggers in the attacking zone. Have they let this one get away from them is the question. That tough break. It didn't result in a breakaway for Jansku. Loose puck here. Santeri not able to hold on to it. Good quick pass. Oyamoska down low for Jansku again. Pass in front doesn't go. Back to the point. Chance back and forth. Jansku on the doorstep. Pass shot, scores! How clutch was that? Poggers make it happen. Jorma has the goal that ties this one up at 3.
And this just kind of seems to be, you know, the story of Ique. They do something good. They find a way, in this case, to get the advantage, get the lead. And, you know, they just can't quite close it out right there as Poggers gets his own entry. A bunch of quick tic-tac passing in that one. It was Jansku sending it to Jorma, who, I mean, no chance for Pirtsa right there, who had to almost, you could see him overcommit on that short side because, well, I mean, the seed was planted with all the short side goals that, you know, Poggers have been getting. He had to, you know, thought he had to overplay it right there, which opened up that one-time opportunity for Jorma. We have a tie game here, 30 seconds left, and they're taking their time here, looking for one more opportunity as this third period ticks away.
Sin, you mentioned nothing Pirtsa could do there. I mean, that was just such an incredibly fast developing play. And indeed, NBA style, wind down that shot clock, give yourself the last chance. Around the back, tries to cut in front. Jansku's pass in front doesn't go. 5 seconds left here. They have space, shot deflects wide. And with that, a save at the end, we are going to overtime here in the second game of 2 between these two. The late goal from Jorma earns Poggers a point.
Yeah, and really, since that first period where Ique was kind of all over Poggers, they really have battled their way back and have the time on attack to show for. Actually, it did hit off a stick. I think that was the defenseman's stick right there as kind of knocked it 5-hole. As get another look here at that play. That is actually impressive. Jansku deflected that puck down, hit his leg, and then passed it over to Jorma, who was able to capitalize for that tying goal. But we will have overtime between these two teams. Ique, you need one more goal here. You got to come away with some points here. You at least get the point, but that extra one, oh so important. Poggers already have secured 3.
For 4 here, as that was a clutch poke check there from Nico. Taking away that second chance opportunity. Santeri nowhere to go. We will walk away with that extra point. 1 point for Ique, looking for a second. Very valuable to last year's Pro Division champion. Shot on, big stop there. Second chance and another big save. Eli Kamel coming up huge here in overtime. Jansku has that one knocked away. See what Ique can do going down the other way. Santeri has it now. Spin move. A lot of traffic. Make Axel can't get that one through. Santeri has it again. Chance. The pass back is broken up. Poggers will survive a set of scares there. Big stretch pass. Nobody to help out. Maisa Kakari on that one. 5 minutes gone already in the overtime. Mistimed at the line here for Ique.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's kind of a case maybe of a bit of nerves right there. A little bit of antsiness. Nieppe had the space. Lehtinen just a step ahead of the curve right there. And gets over that line. And unfortunately, I mean, they could have had a bit of numbers there down low.
Contact there. Recovered along the half wall, at least for the moment. Ique Axel into the corner now fighting for it. Poggers have it. Held down low. Shot blocked down by Nico. Good work there from the defender. Epi has it now for IQ. Double teamed. Pass finds its way to Santeri. In front, loose puck, and a big blocker save. Might have been wide. IQ backing on the attack. Slap shot deflection. Bit with Santeri in front. See the bouncing there, but again, Eli Kamel's there.
Yeah, he's letting them know that one could have gone in. You better watch out for it. Perhaps, a little bit of gamesmanship with the bouncing. Love to see the personalities come out here, especially in overtime. Good to see, IQ, not afraid to break that kind of stuff out. They believe in themselves. Let's see if they can turn that into a W here, as you saw Santeri trying to break up the middle there. No slap pass came from it, though.
Recovered, Santeri here. Trying to hold on to it. Again, Nico not able to get it through. 3-on-1 developing here. Perhaps a big rush down the ice. Shot it just wide. Glove side. And a penalty is called at the same time. Send Poggers going to the power play for the first time in this one. It is a tripping call against Ique.
Yeah, I think that was on the play on the boards where that puck went loose to him. I'm actually not too sure. Everything kind of was happening so quick on that play. But yeah, it was a good job from Poggers with that counter attack, as Nico was caught in that, the slap shot animation from that one-time pass, towards the point right there. But yeah, as you said it, I mean, Poggers, a chance to end it on the power play, and IQ, they're going to have the penalty kill, really of the season so far, if they want to keep this game within reach. They do not want to drop this one. I mean, 1 point's nice. Where they are, they need the second point. It's a necessity.
Here we go. Let's see how this one plays out. A big chance for Poggers to win it. IQ, though, continuing to win those draws. Layton and clutch for his team. Quick movement here. Held in the dot. Over. Blocked down. Still, Poggers hold on to it. Shot glove saved by Pirza, and a lucky one at that, Sin. He was just about ready to adjust his positioning there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the threat that Poggers are putting on. They have the low one-time opportunities, but then they're able also to kick him out towards those high slot. We saw Masu Kakari positioning there.
He has it here. Shot blocked down by Leitonen and sent all the way down. Great work. Eli Kamel learning from the Tristan Jarry School of Goaltending by not throwing it up the middle of the ice. I'll refuse to let that go. Turnover, scores! Just like that, Poggers walk away with 4 points on the night. How frustratingly quick that ended. A failure to clear by the captain, Epi. Sin, that is not a mistake you expect to see from a player of that caliber.
Absolutely not. And I feel like that wasn't even a clear attempt. I feel like he was maybe trying to get a quick rush the other way. I'm looking for where the bodies are on the ice, and perhaps not. Perhaps he was trying to clear, but tries to go up the middle with it. As Coach O'Ryan said, where's the one place you don't want to clear the puck? And it comes back to bite him right there, as it was a great keep-in. And unfortunately for IQ, it leads to the game-winning goal for Poggers, who come away, as you said, with the 4 points. And that one's got to hurt. You kind of saw everyone leaving that lobby pretty quick for IQ. They can't be happy with how it ended, and overall their performance, only getting a 1 point out of the possible 4 in a matchup that is, relatively even, perhaps as even as they come right there, if you're IQ. So again, leaving points on the board always hurts, but especially when you're the new, those new kids on the block essentially here in the Elite Division. We'll see how they're able to adjust moving forward in this season. Believe we have
I was muted. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. You never know when you're going to have more Discord issues. It's been a great day.
I thought it was that. I really thought it was that.
Thank you. At the end of the day, we channeled Tristan Jarry. At the end of the day, though, it wasn't the goaltender that made that mistake. It was a forward by trying to clear it up the ice in overtime. Never a good idea. Jeremy Lowe's on too. There you go, Penguins fans. I won't just pick on you. Sin, that said, again, because of the delays that we had, we're going to throw it a break here and hopefully be back sooner rather than later. We have our second matchup today. Philadelphia, Färjestad, 2 playoff caliber teams, no doubt about that. very intrigued to see how this one plays out. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
Marko tekee maalin! Sebastian ja tekee sen maalin!
And hello, everybody. We are back. Good to see you here at the beginning of a series. Tugi here. I can no longer say joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin. But hey, we are back again, ready for our second matchup today. Again, a big shout out to our sponsors at Viaplay. Wilhelm, of course. You always got to rock that Wilhelm jersey over there. And yeah, of course, Kovalan Lakritzi as well. Big thank you to them. Sin, that first matchup was intriguing for its own reason. Two teams trying to get into the playoff mix here by the end of the season. But now we get a matchup with two teams who are very much in the playoff mix, consistently in the playoff mix. And for one team, of course, our defending champions. Let's get you a look at the team stats here. We'll jump right into it. We got a lot of different build-up we can get you here. It is Philadelphia against Färjestad. And Sin, I mean, a 6-0 start versus a 5-1 start, but my goodness, what a start to the season for our defending champs.
Yeah, Philadelphia, I mean, those numbers are absolutely filthy. 30 goals, 4 against, a decent power play, and so far a perfect penalty kill. I mean, Färjestad, again, no slouches in their own right. It's just this is it. I mean, this is going to be a great test for both of these teams, really, but especially kind of for Philadelphia here, who some may argue they're going up against teams that are weaker than them. But when you're the defending champ, arguably, who is weaker than you? You are the top dog, so you're gonna have to take those points, off of these teams. And now with teams like FBK, Havu, Yippee Vaskala, Atres, etc., so forth, all those teams that have been described as those top tier teams, you're gonna have to beat them as well, especially when the chips are on the table. So this matchup's gonna be very, very interesting.
Again, we mentioned the hot start between these two teams. We'll get you a look at the league table right now as it stands. Of course, as Sin mentioned, still very much in the early stages of this 30-game season. But Sin, stop the count. Poggers in first place.
Yeah, definitely stop the count moment for them as they took those 2 games off of Ique. Yeah, don't look at the 4 games played more than anyone else. Well, actually, Northern Ascendancy just 3 games more played than them. But yeah, Poggers finding themselves at the top, gonna take a picture of that and crop out the rest.
Yeah, and I mean right now too. I mean, again, very early stages, but promising to see a team like YMCA up there in the mix. I know that they were a little bit miffed at being told they would be in a relegation battle this season. So far, so good. Same for Sawo as well, who we predicted might make the playoffs. Obviously a long way to go, though. When you have teams like Goons, Northern Ascendancy, Yippee Vaskala on the outside looking in, crazy things could happen. But unsurprisingly, though, Sin, we see right now through the first couple of games, I mean, ZSC Esports and Tunnel Vision, 2 recently promoted teams, down at the bottom with some pretty rough goal differentials as well.
Yeah, I mean, rough out of the gates for them, tough adjustment, but also recall, I mean, they had to go up against some of the top dogs as well, but, definitely not, giving excuses. I'm sure they don't hold on to any either. They want to be here. They want to improve. And, if you do find yourself in that relegation position, you have to scratch and claw to stay here. Get better every single season. That's what we've seen, out of teams like Vesapampa, who was promoted, and even through all the lineup changes they went through. I mean, look at where they are in the standings, still in a playoff spot this early on in the season. I mean, teams like ZSC, Tunnel Vision, they just have to look to teams like that who have stayed here and worked hard to, get in those playoffs.
So again, NHLgamer.com for all the information that you need here to get a constant look at the league table. Of course, not just for our elite division, but of course our lower 4 tiers now. Sin, still catching me off guard with Pro, Light, Core, and of course Neo. You got the Russian League going on at the moment, all the stuff with the Anaheim Ducks and Ducks Gaming as well. All the information that you need of course, at NHLgamer.com. And as we always say, make sure to drop us a follow to not miss anything that we do here. You'll see the links pop up. I see them in chat right now. You have no excuse. Twitter, Instagram, go drop us a follow on there as well. YouTube as well. So much going on, Sin, under the NHL Gamer umbrella. But that said, we will hopefully be able to get you the start to this series here very, very soon. Because, Sin, it's not just those in the U.S. East region of Discord that are having connectivity issues today. Apparently, there's stuff for me too, or stuff for FBK as well. It's been a great day for the internet, apparently. So we're gonna do what we have to do to get these games underway. And CBay, I have it. It's over there, and that Bruins banner's over there. If you don't watch it, it's going front and center. That said, Sid. That said, let's take a look at the lineups here. Again, Philadelphia, our defending champions, going up against FBK, and it is the 6 per side, Sin, that you would very much expect to see in the lineup here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not much difference, and you don't change what's working, but this is kind of really been the case throughout the course of these seasons. As it's the typical three: playmaker Potslav, Ique up front for Philadelphia, for Färjestad, Afe, Malin, and Antonio Mann on the back end. Teemu and Loimu, the new addition to Philadelphia in Teemu there. Kape in net. And for Färjestad, Furion and Lehmanens, who has had a great start here in the green jersey with his old defensive partner, Antonio Mann. Of course, who else but McSavid between the pipes.
I should note as well, I mean, CBay telling me it should stay there. I mean, let's be honest, and if I don't watch it, he might shuffle those feet as fast as he can. We've seen the fancy footwork there. I don't know if I'd stand a chance. Yeah, he'll shuffle his feet right over and tear it down. It might take him a while to get there, but he'll slide on his belly and then tear it down off of your wall. There you go. With that, of course, we'll get to the individual matchups that we have here. The battle of the centers kicks things off, as always, as it is the two captains going head-to-head in this one, Potslav and Malin. Sin, what stands out for you here? I mean, so far, so good in terms of the point totals. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Potslav. I mean, you could almost make an argument that it's a bit lower than what he could be at, considering the production from the wingers. But I mean, he's still one of the better centers in this game. And I mean, how can you argue with that? He's playing for Philadelphia, perhaps one of the best. Does so many of those things that just simply don't get looked at because you have guys like Playmaker and Ique on your wings. And on the flip side, Malin has done terrific job, and he's very physical player this year. 32 hits. His faceoffs though, that's where it's really going to be interesting. 44.8% for Malin, while Potslav is boasting a 58.3%. If that, if Malin doesn't even up the faceoff battle here, Philadelphia is able to get easy possession. That could spell doom for FBK. And it's interesting as well for Phila so far. I mean, playing 3 non-playoff teams in Tunnel Vision, Rusty Blades, and ZSC Esports. So, or ZSC. It always sounds wrong. I would, Sam, we hear it heading into the season. It's ZSC, but we gotta English it up a little bit. But that said, I mean, for Färjestad as well, I mean, they've had a slightly more difficult schedule so far. Northern Ascendancy and Goons in the mix as well as taking on the Swiss Lions there. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is the time definitely for Malin to show that he is, going to be able to help win those extra draws that are really going to be that big of a factor for his team. With that said, we move on to the battle of the wingers here for Philadelphia. It's the incomparable duo of Playmaker and Ique. Sin, I mean, for those two so far, we talked about their offensive output taking a bit of a step back last season in favor of a more defensive style that helped them win. They are right back to where they were. Yeah, and again, it might be because of those first initial matchups where they were facing those kind of non-playoff teams, sort of, getting all those points. But they are dangerous players, at their worst of times, really. Even if they're having bad games, they are still dangerous. The thing is, they don't really have too many bad games. I maybe recall, a period or two where they didn't look their best. Other than that, these guys are absolutely, unconscious out there and, dangerous at all 3 zones. You got to look out for them. And, with as good as they've been, defensively, I don't think they've taken a step back from that either. If Philadelphia is going to lead the way offensively and defensively, they're going to be scary. But yeah, on the flip side, Afe, a threat
all across the ice. He could just sneak through. He always finds, somehow finds a way to get on his shooting side and get his stick on the puck and somehow get behind the defenseman. Teemu and Loimu are really going to have to keep their eyes open.
And indeed, on the flip side there for FBK with Afe and Antonio Mannin. I mean, Sim, we talked about it with Afe, just a pure goal scorer, doing a great job this season as well. But Antonio Mannin really leading the way for the team in terms of points, his second season at forward. I mean, what a decision it was to have him hop up to play forward on this team, just to not only shore up things defensively, but the offensive outputs there this season so far as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely comfortable. You saw it was kind of a transition season for him in the last one. This time he seems right at home on that wing and is really getting to production to prove it.
So with that, we'll move over to the battle of the defensemen as well. The good thing is we should be just about ready for game time here in a matter of moments. It is Teemu and Loimu on defense for Philadelphia. Firion and Laminens on defense. Sin, four guys who can put up points from the back end, and so far for Laminens, what an incredible start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely at home there. And again, we talked about it, first time we covered them, we talked about it in the pregame, being reunited with Antonio, not defensive partners anymore, but still with that connection. Both of them now playing on the same side of the ice. You have that built-in chemistry already. And it's with both of them kind of, leading the way in points, I believe, it's a great job. And on the flip side, Teemu, slotting in now for Philadelphia, not with the amount of points that perhaps you would expect from someone on this Philadelphia squad. And, something that we'll have to look at as, Philadelphia starts to play these better teams, losing Jay Toro, who was able to put up a ton of points while still, being great defensively. We know how good Teemu is defensively, hasn't quite found the scoring touch yet, at least in the assist department. 3 goals in 6 games, really not too bad. So we'll see if he's able to do that in this matchup.
Sam, we move on to the battle of the goaltenders as well, and while we thought we might have had some extra time, we'll go ahead and breeze through the last bit of setup here. We have Kape, of course, talk about incomparable, setting the single-season shutout record last year, going up against McSavid, 2 of the best that this league has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say about it? This is elite versus elite, unstoppable force, immovable object, all the cliches in the book. They're going to have to duel it out and duke it out on the ice and see which one comes up with the right save at the right time.
So as we get ready here for this matchup, again, 2 heavyweights going head-to-head, the biggest matchup of this season so far. We are excited to see how this one is going to play out. And I mean, Sin, talking about the keys, which I don't know if we'll be able to get to here necessarily on screen, but we always prepare kind of those 3 keys to success here. And for Philadelphia, I mean, number one, it's the obvious. They haven't slowed down at all, and we do have them on screen for you here. I mean, picture perfect so far. As you've mentioned, that PK as well, we saw that stat, which is absolutely ridiculous. And for Kape, though, like you mentioned, this is the big test. FBK is the biggest challenge he's faced so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to it's for Färjestad, they've had a great power play so far, but against this Philadelphia team who have so far a perfect penalty kill, they're not going to be able to rely on that. They're going to have to, do their damage 5-on-5. And of course, we talked about it a little bit. Antonio and Laminens having that comforting chemistry back there. They seem to be right at home playing together. Both of them boosting a team or league leading point production thus far. That's great. That's Laminens, I believe, leading defenseman in both assists and points. And he's going to have to live up to the name McSavid. He's going to be called upon perhaps to stand on his head against this high flying and strong Philadelphia team. Look for him to make some key saves at game-changing moments for this FBK team.
Indeed. So again, just a few moments away here from puck drop. And of course, in terms of those keys, I mean, again, just that ability to not rely on the power play, the second best in the league for FBK so far. That's a huge factor. But everything else, that was mentioned in terms of the chemistry that they have, in terms of the big players for FBK living up to their potential so far, it's all pretty much on point so far. So, Sid, this is going to go a long way. I mean, we always talk about it when you have the Havus of the world, the Philadelphias of the world. We've talked about it over the past few seasons. Who's going to be able to make that push?
Yeah.
H-Reds have made that push. And at times, we thought, okay, here comes Ippe Vaskala, here comes FBK, and sometimes that doesn't always work out. And again, Yip is off to a surprisingly poor start at 2-4 on the year so far. Färjestad, though, at 5-1, this is a chance here. I mean, I think if you can earn a split, 2 points to really, unsettle that perfect start for Philadelphia so far, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Easier said than done, though, in terms of that challenge.
Yeah, it's absolutely easier said than done. But yeah, if you're Färjestad, we keep talking about it. Who's going to make this, the big two, a big three, a big four? Definitely H-Reds now. We thought Ippe Vaskala at times, as you mentioned. We even thought Färjestad at times. So this is it. If Ique can just be an incredible game changer and find a way to break through, especially on that defensive core, and if FBK can compete, and we've seen him play stronger defense over the course, especially in the last season, if they could do that as well as producing the points, I think that they can hang with Philadelphia here.
So again, we will see. Puck drop should be in a matter of moments now. The teams, as far as I know, have been given the go-ahead, but tick-tock, here we are. Still waiting to see how this one's going to play out. I mean, Sin, you can't blame them, though. Two of the better teams in the Elite Division. You gotta build up that anticipation just a little bit more. Why not have the anticipation build heading into the day? Let's see how this one plays out. We got to look at the teams in the lobby. Sin, unsurprisingly, although there's a weird glitch going on right now, a lot of puck-moving defensemen in this lineup. You got the playmakers at center, Ique rocking the sniper build. It's what we've come to expect.
Yeah, and Ique always kind of going with that playmaker, I believe it. He's still rocking that there on the right wing side, although someone seemed to be clicking through him very fast. Definitely not to troll us, just muscle memory at this point. As we've often seen at times, some of the camera work from some of the streamers of kind of switching back and forth off those face-offs, giving us our eyes, the work over. But yeah, I mean, do what you're comfortable with, whatever helps. You can see these guys are all about the preparation, all about, routine essentially, and it works. And I mean, it seems silly, but it's muscle memory, and it shows on the ice when it comes to it. I mean, Philadelphia, do whatever you can to keep those thumbs warm, essentially.
So you see it on the screen there. Tomorrow, the same time, same channel. That broadcast in Finnish, Goons and Kova Esports, Savo Esports, and Havu Gaming. Sim, we talked about it. Monday, we got to cover H-Reds. Today, we get to cover Philadelphia. Our Finnish contingent getting to cover Havu tomorrow. Pretty big week for all of these teams. Philadelphia and Färjestad going head-to-head here. Excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the test for both teams, and I think maybe a little bit more so than Färjestad, as Philadelphia are proven champions, multiple times. So we'll see if Färjestad is ready to break in and make it a top big three, big four.
Indeed, an FBK in on the attack early on. Shot fired wide from the point by Laminens. We'll see how this one plays out. FBK, I mean, Kape mentioned it in chat. Is it really a challenge if it's a regular season? I mean, I would say so. It can set the tone heading into the postseason, even if we are less than 10 games into the season here. Shot fired just wide as well. Both right defensemen just missing the post here in the early stages for Laminens and Loimu. FBK have the line. Good pass there. Chance again in front. What a stop by Kape to track that one. Maybe not exactly what FBK was looking for in terms of the velocity on that shot, but regardless, a great opening chance for Färjestad. But Sin, those are the ones that you need to go, because here comes Philadelphia. Ique on the doorstep. Big stop by McDavid. I mean, there's only so many chances you're going to get against Philadelphia. Interception there is Antonio. Feeds it off down low. Good movement. Mullen not able to hold on to it, though. Let's see what they can do now, trying to work their way back to the neutral zone. It's Philadelphia. Good, quick movement here to maintain puck possessions. The name of the game. Potzloff, though, not able to get that puck. Trouble for Laminens. Quick D-to-D work. Good step up by Loimu. Contact. Good pass by Mullen. Laminens will circle around to settle it down. Again, you see FBK willing to take their time as well on these break-ins. Antonio has it down low and can't get it back to the point.
Yeah, that's one of those occasions where the defenseman kind of, is thinking that puck might be going around the net, wants to position himself for that up high one-timer, but it's kicked back right there. It's just a case of needing to wait that second longer to see that play develop.
Offside call there, already halfway through this first period of these first two games. And that first goal going to be very, very important. Especially, too, Philadelphia. We know they get that opening goal. They can just run wild from that point on. They're in the attacking zone. Teemu trying to hold on to it. Loses it. Afe has it. Dishes it off. Mullen now. Back skate to hold possession. Can't get that pass through. Second chance. Hit the side of the net. Antonio, man, and that close. The opening goal of this game.
Oh, yeah, that would have been huge for FBK. A little bit of rotten luck there as it went off the side of the net, as you mentioned. Philadelphia on the attack.
And Teemu. Point-blank chance denied by McSaven. Good work there by Laminance. Just hold on. Furion with it now. Nearly turns it over to Ique. Playmaker, the big step-up hit. Puck still stranded at the blue line. FBK back in control. Here's Afe on the right-hand side of your screen. Dish back to the point. Furion down low for Mullen around the back. Held in by Laminance. Afe. It's Mullen again down low. Good work there, but Furion's pass just off the mark. 3.5 here. Looking for the opening goal in this one. Couple chances for both sides here. Potzloff holds. Down low for Playmaker. Again tried Potzloff on the short side. Shot it all the way through the crease. Teemu holds it in. Good quick work here. Playmaker. Ique scores! Drifting towards the half wall, but still Lecky's able to fire that one home at an extreme angle. 1-0 Philadelphia.
And the patience on display from Playmaker right there as well. I honestly thought he was going to rip that shot. How long he's holding it on the forehand, but apparently waiting for Ique to get the amount of space that he needed, which I guess involved him drifting all the way to the edge of the circle right there. And tough one for McSaven to get his hand on that short side snipe. Very, very strong today, by the looks of it. That's about the third or fourth one that we've seen going in.
So we march on here. Phila with the early goal. Let's see how FBK managed to respond to that one. Get over the line here. Quick D-to-D work. Laminance. Finds Antonio, shot on. Kicked away by Cape. One more rush here perhaps. Playmaker over the line. Potzloff has it now. Back to him. 3 seconds. Tried to find Ique. Shot it just wide of the post. So it's in. Both teams have good chances on both sides, but ultimately it's Philadelphia finding the tiebreaker.
Yeah, that one's got to be kind of rough for FBK. The good news is they're only down by a goal. The kind of bad news for them is they could have had one, maybe two, with some of the chances that they got. That first one, a great save by Cape, and the second one just, kind of unfortunate for Antonio as it went off the side of the net. But I like it. FBK definitely doesn't seem out of their league or anything. At times, they're really seeming to be able to take it to Philadelphia. However, Philadelphia, the one who broke the ice, have the lead, and they're such a hard team to strip that lead away from. FBK is really going to have to put out all the stops here in this second period, trying to work their way back in, tie that up, and eventually perhaps take a lead.
Here we go, second period underway now. FBK in on the attack early. Find the back of the net in this one, despite relatively even time on attack. Mullen, plenty of patience. Furion. D-to-D to Laminance, back down low again. Antonio holds it. Back to the point, looking, pass in front. Nearly found Antonio. Wasn't even the intended target. This one knocked back to neutral zone. His Playmaker nearly picked that one off. Jump and chase here. Afe has it. Quickly back to Furion at the point. He'll pinch in. Bides his time, takes a big hit from Loimu, but recovers, only to turn it over to Playmaker. Sends it back down the other way. Loimu, the big spin. He turns it over as well. Loose puck recovered. Here's Afe. Teemu knocks it loose. Goes down below the goal line where Afe ultimately recovers. He dishes back to the point. Laminance fired one on. Couldn't find its way through traffic. Ping-ponged around a little bit. Philadelphia looking to work their way through the neutral zone. A little bit of timing trouble at the line, but they do find the space. Playmaker. Drop back. Slap shot there. Loimu not able to get it through. Good work here by Potzloff and Playmaker, but again, follow-up pass into the middle, just not there.
Yeah, and, it's a good job from FBK to sort of limit those, but excellent passing on display from Philadelphia, as you'd expect at this level. But, yeah, as you mentioned, FBK still, doing a really good job of at least keeping Philadelphia from those high percentage.
Space for Playmaker. Couldn't get the pass through the double team. Loimu was wide open if he did. FBK back down the other way now. Still looking for that first goal. Layman's. Here's Antonio Madden. Tried the short side shot. Kicked away by Cape. Back down low again. Antonio to Afe. That one poked the side as well. Halfway through the second. Chances for FBK. Haven't found a way to beat Cape yet, though.
No, he's had to make some good saves as well, but most of all, his positioning on point. I guess that's a given, every time we cover Cape now, his position just seems to be some of the best. Great job from Playmaker to almost get to that puck, at least create some havoc back there.
Nervous moment for sure. Here's Afe over the line. Drops back again. Furion has it. Chance for Antonio again, trying the short side. Cape's just not cheating it.
Yeah, maybe trying to use Afe as bait, as so often they'd kick it over there for that one time. So often he capitalized on it, but Cape trusting his defense.
Shows how much faith he has in him to be able to break that one up. And said it's the right way to go. It's on the defense to be able to break that one up. You got to take care of the shooter in that instance. That's what he's done so far. Here's Playmaker. Ique draws a call. Potzloff loses it. And we'll see Philadelphia go to the power play. This is a huge moment here. It's going to be a charging call, actually, rather than a trip. Mullen takes the seat.
Yeah, not something that we often see right there. Maybe a bit of frustration or just trying to force that puck aloof was Mullen, and you're going to have to win this faceoff, get that puck out.
Right, maybe got a short-handed bid going here. So Laminen stepping up. Of course, he and Antonio have no problem switching, allowing the other one to go up the ice. Playmaker now. Looking. Temu. Good D-to-D work here. You know that they're looking for Ique on that far side. There he is. Tried to pass back in front. Broken up. Back to the neutral zone at least. And an errant pass will send it all the way down to about the goal line. So 40 seconds to go now on the man advantage. Let's see what Philly can do. You have to get an A-grade chance on this power play. Here's Ique. Playmaker tried to pull the trigger. Shot was blocked. Temu around the back. Goes for the wrap. And stifled. McSaban makes the stop.
So they have one more face-off play here with the man advantage, but 1 second left. That does create an interesting opportunity for Mullen coming out of the box. If Färjestad can win this, send it down the ice.
High up on the draw, back to 5-on-5. Mullen in the play, blocks the shot. Here's Ique. Muscled off by Furion, who sends it down. No icing on the play as as Afe was able to give chase there. Again, it was a big block by Mullen that took away that first scoring chance. Here's Playmaker. Finds Ique. Loose puck again, recovered. FBK have played good defense. It was just one chance. Here we go. Lavinen's on the pinch. Can't score. Cape stood tall. Indecisive moment there. Loose puck in the slot after the 1-T from Furion. One more rush here for Philip. Playmaker. Muscled off the puck. Mullen will hold down low. No reason to risk it. Furion trying to draw the trip, perhaps can't do so. So we will go to the third with a 1-0 Philadelphia lead. Honestly, surprising to see a scoreline that's that low. Just 9 combined shots on target. I'd love to see the attempts.
Yeah, and it's not so often where we see, a skater seemingly freeze up on the breakaway. Perhaps that's just the Cape effect back there. You're like, okay, how am I going to beat this guy? Usually it's the goaltender perhaps freezing up on those breakaways, but not in that case. Laminen's unable to bear it. It was a terrific play, terrific read by him. Just couldn't finish it off, and that's kind of been the story so far for Färjestad in this one. They have not been able to capitalize on their opportunities. They're getting chances. They're finding ways to get around or at least find the slightest of gaps in Philadelphia's coverage, but so far unable to score as Philadelphia still nursing the 1-0 lead.
And to see if FBK have what it takes to get this goal. Again, as mentioned in the pregame, Cape setting the single-season record for most shutouts last year here with this Philadelphia squad. Some slight changes. Here's Afe, has a chance, poked away at the last moment. Might see more of that from FBK. It's led them to playoff success in the past, allowing those fast wingers to get in behind. Mullen has it down low. Finds Furion. Defender sends it all the way back around. Ique keeps it in. Here's Antonio Mann in front. Recovered by Teemu. FBK with plenty of chances. They just can't find the back of the net so far. They need this next goal. Playmaker to Potsdam, and they won't get it. The captain scores. Send that quickly. Philadelphia able to get that goal, and that's the difference right now between these two teams.
Yep, and that's that short side play that they tried to run a bit earlier, and that time Potzlav buries it. I mean, that's just so hard to stop. You have to be in perfect position. You can't chase too much, but you have to pressure him a little bit, seemingly to force it off. But yeah, now it's a 2-goal deficit, and unfortunately FBK offsides on that one. They really got to scramble now.
14 and a half to go. Furion survived a lot of danger up there at the point. Playmaker has this one. Shot on, stopped by McSaven. Second chance, and they score again. The pass from the office to the far post. And it works once more. Loimu has the goal this time. The right defenseman sin to the left circle. Go figure.
Yeah. I mean, why not at this point? It was Potzlav covering him on that right point, but that's it. When Philadelphia senses weakness, they will exploit it. That's that second one on that post side, but Afe.
Good chance down the other way for FBK, though this one's just gotten away from them. Shot on, kick stop by Kape. Right now, it's a matter of finding the back of the net and building momentum for the next game, perhaps. 3-goal comeback. Very unlikely. Glove stop there by Kape. He'll play it out. Keep that clock ticking. Very fast reaction speed there. Playmaker takes the hit. Can't keep it in the attacking zone. And Phila over the line. Here's Ique with a lot of space to work with. Can't find Playmaker on the sauce. Antonio nowhere to go around Teemu, who still has it, trying to lead it up the ice. Still fighting for it is Teemu. What an individual effort that was. As Mullen tries to hold. Gets around the defender. The center battle. In front. Chance couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. There's Potzlaff in the zone now. Ique, the chance. Tried to go back to Potzlaff. It didn't go. 8 minutes to play here. Potzlaff in the zone. Can't find Playmaker on that one. Potzlaff again gets the goal. The captain puts the nail in the coffin on this one. Sin gets the goal far side. 4-0 now.
Yeah, the wheels just kind of fell off right there for FBK. You almost saw that developing, kind of a rough play behind the net. I believe that was Furion right there, unable to kind of hold off the pressure and move the puck quick enough, and it's Potzlaff, individual effort, forces the turnover, comes around the net, and goes far side on that forehand on McSaven. A tough one to be able to stop, and now it's 4-0 Philadelphia. Yeah, you said it. That might just be the dagger here, unless, FBK pulls off a miraculous comeback, but so hard to do that against a team like Philadelphia.
The issue, Sin, they had their chances to the first 2 periods, just didn't work. Those are opportunities that you can't let slip, as we have an icing call here with 6:33 to go. You have to make the most of those chances against a team like Philadelphia.
Yeah, we said it. I mean, they have to be able to capitalize 5-on-5, and sometimes you're only going to get a few chances. You better make sure you score on a couple of them. They simply didn't in this game. They didn't score on any of them. That's something that they're going to have to do, because you won't get many chances against them. And when you do, Ikape's back there. They've learned about that in this game, and it's been a tough situation for them. But, yeah, Philadelphia continuing just their dominance across the ECL Elite.
Scoreline maybe not a great indication of how close this game has been at times, but that absolutely ruthless efficiency of our defending champions in Philadelphia on full display. Of course, despite lineup changes as well heading into the season. Space for Potzlaff, wants the hat trick, can't get it there. 3 minutes to go. Of course, another game coming up between these two teams to wrap up this broadcast, so make sure you stick with us. This one goes all the way back down. You are, of course, watching ECL Elite Division action right here on NHL Gamer. It's NHLGamer.com. Brought to you by Viaplay, Wilhelm, and, of course, Kovalon. Black Critzy. Sid, what's the key here for FBK moving into this next game?
Just kind of put it behind you, but you didn't play a bad game, but they don't want to hear that. They're losing. They're going to lose. It doesn't matter how good you played. You didn't capitalize on your chances. We know that's not going to be good enough for them. I don't know what adjustments you make. Maybe try to look to close off that quick short side opportunity, but again, you still need to be able to score goals. You can stop 1 or 2 more goals from Philadelphia in this game, but you still lose because you didn't score.
Final 43 seconds to play. FBK down the other way, at the very least for pride. Going to want a goal here. Deflection bid again. Traffic in front. Absolutely phenomenal. Potzloff to Ique. Ique back to the captain. There it is. And you knew they wanted the hat trick, and they got it. Nothing McSavid could do. Ique, 3 options minimum of what to do, but he goes back to the captain to get his hat trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw the reaction from McSavid. I mean, look at it. It was Playmaker on that one time, had some space because, Färjestad rushing back, trying to cover what they can and maybe not picking him up, but he goes to the trailer, and Potzloff had the time, had the space, goes there on the glove side and buries it, getting his hat trick, and just further salt in the wound here if you're Färjestad. More icing on the cake if you're at Philadelphia.
So from a close game to a rout, it can happen that quickly. Shot wired high. Mullen has it down low. Again, a 5-1 record for FBK so far this year. Shot, and again, Coppe with a save. Phenomenal work there. Another save by the netminder. I mean, again, a 5-1 record, now down to 5-2. FBK, one of the Elite Division's top teams, but there are levels to this. The defending champs now 7-0. We'll see if they can double up Färjestad here in just a few moments.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Färjestad. You want to be able to at least keep it close, maybe, at least guarantee, get yourself an overtime, but it's hard. And Coppe with yet another shutout in the season. That'll be 3 now in 7 games played. I mean, if at all possible, he may be looking to break his own record, but it's going to be tough to get another one here against Färjestad. I mean, with the level of chances that they got, I'm not going to say Philadelphia's lucky. It took good goaltending. Maybe, there's always an element of luck, but at the same time, Koppe's positioning was fantastic. He made some big saves when he needed to. And Teemu and Loimu did a good job of forcing, when they got those passes to the slot, Afe maybe on the back end, or maybe, they had to go to Antonio, who was, in a position where Coppe could adjust to that shot. It was a complete team effort from Philadelphia to get this shutout. Some big saves from Coppe, yes, but for the most part, Färjestad, they were a bit frustrated because they could not get to, their sticks on the puck at the right times, and that's a big part of it. You can get those passes across the slot, but they were defending Afe when he was on his forehand. That was when he's most deadliest. They defended him there when he would get that puck sometimes on the backhand, and it's just not exactly what they want. They did get that one breakaway, but of course he was stoned by Coppe. So yeah, if you're FBK, it's not like you didn't get chances. Maybe you want a few more chances, but again, you have to have the sort of efficiency that Philadelphia has to be able to beat them.
Problem is, Sin, I don't know if anybody has that type of efficiency that Philadelphia has. That is the big issue there, as you get a look. 5 goals on 9 shots against McSavid, who again had last year's highest save percentage amongst goaltenders. So hardly a slouch as we get a look here at the other goals. And I mean, on so many of them, Sin, it's the question of what can a player even do in that situation in goal.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, look at the 2 chances that came, those short side opportunities, one from Potzloff and one from Loimu there. And the thing was, especially on that first one, it's not that FBK wasn't there, it's just it happened so quickly. How do you position yourself to be able to pick that off or get in the way of it? You almost have to prematurely get down into that L1, and doing that takes away your speed, and it stops you from defending the next wrap chance or getting in position to help defend against that cycle. That's just Philadelphia opens up so much space that, they can really make you pay on any of the slightest windows, and they have that, reaction time to do so. And it came to roost there in that game, a 5-0 victory, and Färjestad going to be hard pressed to kind of, have to come back from that, but they got to score the first goal in this next game for sure.
Sim, with that, I do believe Kape, under the NHL Gamer umbrella, is now tied all time for the shutout lead with RPH of Team Leisure in our pro division, relegated this past season. I believe both goaltenders now with 76 shutouts throughout, of course, everything that we have going on with NHL Gamer. He will break the record this season. There's no doubt about that. An incredible run as well. Of course, Kape 4th all-time in wins as well. You know, it's funny, we got that, and I know he'd very much appreciate that particular jersey. He's not far off in a virtual sense. With that, a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back for the second game of the series and our final game of this broadcast.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.
I know every time Sin sees that ad for the ribs, incredibly jealous.
Yeah.
One of these days, buddy, we'll get over there. And, God, hide the Wilhelm, because Sin's going to wipe out half the stock.
Yeah, probably. My mouth will be on fire, but I'll still be able to provide the Sinalysis. Don't you worry. I'm used to it. I've burned my mouth on so many occasions.
That said, I don't know where to go with that. I feel like that was a softball, and I'm just stuck looking at it like, oh man, that's yep. Well, that said, Sim, we are just about ready to go again for this second game. Again, we kind of talked about it here for FBK. You hope to earn at least a split. You drop that first game, so the pressure's on a little bit. We'll see how it plays out. We also have you guys right here again in the extra highlight reel, and you look at these and how they played out or not. It's fine. I would have been cool with seeing it again. Teams are ready in the lobby. But Sim, we saw with those goals because we saw the highlights before. Mm-hmm. It's just those sharp angle shots off those quick passes from odd angles that Philadelphia always seem to get off. That, I mean, we've seen it for years. Goaltenders not being able to stop them.
It's tough because if you look to cover that, if you look to adjust to it prematurely, well, there's a rap chance that is going to be right in front of you, or they can kick it back up top to, either the winger or defenseman for a one-timer. It's so hard for a goaltender to be able to adjust, but it's harder when it's done with such precision and quickness that Philadelphia does. We've seen other teams attempt it and it gets stifled, pretty consistently. You can tell how much Philadelphia's worked on it, how, quickly, kind of, we're going to say the word again, efficient they are at it, but that's really what it comes down to. Practice makes permanence, and they practice it quickly so often. They get into the game situation that it just clicks, and they find a way to put that puck in the back of the net. So Färjestad, work's cut out for them. Let's see if they're able to get an early lead or any lead at all, or even just a goal here against Philadelphia.
Top teams offensively so far this season. Held goalless in the last one. Indeed, we'll see what they can do here. They're back in on the attack. Of course, now Färjestad 5-2. Philadelphia 7-0. Looking to continue this perfect run. A turnover there, and here's a breakaway for Ique. Furion trying to catch, and a big diving poke check from McSavid. Clutch, to say the least. I mean, Sin, really smart play there, because all things considered, with Furion getting back, Ique wouldn't have been able to go to McSavid's glove side.
Absolutely, but he almost snuck that one through. I believe it was the pad of McSavid stopping that one from entering the back of the net.
The deflection bid there for Afe doesn't quite go. Not quite an A-grade chance, but still, sometimes you might need those fluky goals to find their way past somebody like Kape, a record setter. Chance for Teemu at the linebacker. Playmaker across. Potzlock just couldn't shovel that one in. Comes Furion down the other way. Talk about some of the all-time best in the NHL Gamer umbrella, the orange icon for FBK. All-time leading scorer amongst defensemen. NHL Gamer history. That one's blocked. Loose puck recovered here. Chance for Ique. Good quick movement here. Banks off a skate. Held in. Loimu. Down the wall. Tried to go in front. It's knocked loose. Afe just muscles his way through. Chance on the rush. Chance again. Scores! Incredible patience and hands on display. Mullen, the captain, tucks that one 5-hole. Sin, we have a game.
We absolutely have a game. Look at that. Goes 5-hole with it. Maybe Copley was thinking he'd pull it to that glove or the backhand or something. Either way, tucked home by Mullen, and that's, again, capitalizing on the goalies here in the Euro scene. They really don't go 5-hole too often right there, and they don't go butterfly, and so that 5-hole often remains open. But shout out to Ique, who made that play work by, you said it, muscling his way through the neutral zone, keeping that alive, and then feeding Mullen, creating the space available for him to drive the net and put that one home.
A great play there for the captain. A goal that FBK desperately needed to get this game off to a much better start. After failing to capitalize on other scoring chances in the first game. They have another chance here. 2-on-1 developing. Antonio, bit slow, spin move. Just didn't have the gas in the tank to keep up with Ique. On the opposite wing. Teemu down low. Playmaker taking the hit. Still fighting for it. There, Fury unable to handle that one. Ique takes his time. Good quick movement. Laminens. Back to old teammate and new again. Antonio Manning. Turnover there by Furion, though. Seki, good patience there. Poked away, right back up the middle. 7.5 to go here in the first period. And the second game of 2 between these two. Just our second week of competition here in our 12th season. Quick out. It's going to be offside, I believe, on the other side. I mean, regardless, Sin, that was interesting. Again, we only saw that look a couple of times from FBK.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, that's because Philadelphia, they know they're going to have to cover that, and the defenseman going to have to be, on that all game.
Chance for Ique, stuck with it. McSavid's going to make that stop once more. Chance on both sides of the ice. Near turnover here. Playmaker not able to recover. Indeed, those quick outs, not a bad idea right now if they can get rid of the puck. Potsloff tries to shovel it on the short side, and McSavid cover that one.
Yeah, they seem to be continuing to test that short side, not just on those, quick one-timers, but just in general. See if they could catch McSavid cheating. Just get in his head a bit. Say, this puck can come from any way, any place on the ice. Really keep him on his toes.
Ique has it. Shot blocked by Laminens. Potsloff, just the patience, the physicality to hold on to it. Mullen there. Able to assist. FBK back in control, but for how long? They at least get it out of the zone. Sid, you see that very quick passing, though. Desperation to keep it in the attacking end.
Yeah, definitely. See if they can keep, Ique kind of, overcommitting. It's been good for Loimu. Ique wants to try to force that turnover at the blue line, but Loimu's doing a good job of pinching at the right time and just far enough to keep him away.
Zeki draws the trip. Looked like a good decision there. Tough moment. It will be the captain, Mullen, taking a seat once more. Big chance for Phila here off the draw. Set play, perhaps. Loimu for Potsloff. Rifles across, deflected, and a glove stop by McSavid.
Yeah, good look from Philadelphia early on into this power play. You can see just the patience they have with it, and just Färjestad, they're going to have to try to cover that slot, but of course there's going to be threats everywhere on the ice. Good job from Antonio winning that draw there. They get a quick clear. Let's see how they're able to keep Philadelphia from gaining a re-entry.
2 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Still plenty of time to work with on the man advantage for Philadelphia. Loose puck in front, held in. Chance, slap shot, blocked down in front. Loose puck still there. Potsloff down low to Ique. Back to Potsloff. Huge stop by McSavid to stick with him on that one. Again, the chance. Shot just wide. Nearly sent to that top corner by Loimu. 8 seconds to go on the man advantage. This one's going to be out of the zone, so FBK survive. Final minute. Big spin from Ique. Here's Antonio. Can't time it at the line. Still time. Dump and chase, though. They mistime it. See what Teemu does. Potsloff to Ique. Blocked by Playmaker. Out of play over the glass. With 0.2 to go. Sin, that brings us to the end of the first period.
Yeah, bad manners by Playmaker right there. Said, no, Ique, you can't score at the end of the period. But, all seriousness, though, yeah. One more face-off there at the end. But, yeah, Färjestad has the lead, but look at that time and attack from Philadelphia. A lot of that had to do with that power play. It seemed like for at least, a good portion of it, they had that puck in the zone and were looking to strike, looking dangerous, getting some chances, but very good job, on those short side plays. McSavid is there for the most part. He's making those stops. But again, if you're Philadelphia, why not keep trying it? But it is Färjestad who have the lead. And I came off of this goal by Mullen. Just great patience, driving that middle, able to sneak that one 5-hole. We'll see. Now it's Philadelphia, the one having to play catch-up. But that one goal isn't going to be enough. Färjestad have to find a way to put that biscuit in the basket at least 1-2 more times, preferably. And even then, it might not be enough with how quickly, Philadelphia can turn any lead into their favor.
It's time at the line there to start things off. Maybe a bit of frustration the other way for Philadelphia. Of course, plenty of time to work with, though, here in this one. Our defending champs, 7-0 now on the season after a 5-0 demolition of FBK, and what was a closer game than what the scoreline would indicate. A few moments ago, Ique can't get a piece of that one. Playmaker looking. Big shot and a stop by McSavid, denying Loimu from the point. Philadelphia getting those offensive zone chances more consistently now than they were through the opening 10 minutes of the period or so, or of the game, I should say. Safe not able to find Antonio. I mean, obviously, if you're FBK, you need that insurance. You're not going to be able to hold Philadelphia more than likely to just one goal. I mean, we have seen it. I believe the opening game of the season for Phila, a 1-0 win over Tunnel Vision, who are currently second to last. That was a scary moment. There, another one, McSavid. Coming up big here so far. Antonio Mann, and with a bit of space down the wing, has to cut back. Couldn't go to the point. I mean, Ique was right there. That's just a matter of wanting a play to be there that simply wasn't. Chance back, scores! That quickly. A rough turnover from Antonio Mann on the far side. Playmaker and Ique rip apart the defense. It's Ique with another goal. I mean, Sin, that's a mistake you just can't make.
No, and you could feel it coming too. Färjestad, their puck control didn't seem to be on point. They were really trying to force plays. That you said it, they weren't there, and he had Mullen, in the middle there, kind of in the high slot, more towards the point there. That was the pass open, and Ique maybe just completely unnoticed there on the boards, but yeah, you have to be able to do that. It was almost like Färjestad was uncomfortable there playing with that, sort of tenuous lead. And, well, you don't have to worry about it anymore. One mistake, and Philadelphia is on the board. This game's all tied up.
So we'll see how FBK responds. And again, they had the lead. Evaporates rather quickly, though. That's all it takes. One mistake. FBK pays for it. Kurion's pass off of Mark and Sin. I mean, it's been a sign here through the first half of the second period. The passing from FBK, not where it needs to be. Playmaker tried to sneak one home off the skate of McSavid. Antonio Mann again having trouble. Furion likes not to pass to Afe on the first attempt. Hits him here, holds it at the line and dumps in. You might need to see more of that from Färjestad, all things considered, since a little bit more creative on their part.
Yeah, they tried that at the beginning of the last game, and it really worked out. That was that in-tight opportunity that Afe got. I think their first big chance of the game.
Here's Ique. Muscle to the outside. Shot deflects. Stopped by McSavid. I mean, again, I wouldn't say McSavid had necessarily a poor game. He's definitely keeping his team in this one, though, here in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. As Färjestad, they're kind of being sloppy, but poor puck management right now, and it's not going to get any easier once Philadelphia kind of open the floodgates. Once they sense weakness, they're going to continue to capitalize it. If you're FBK, you got to clean it up, but another turnover.
Another one from Antonio as defense bails him out. Deep water here are Färjestad hanging in there right now, but it's for dear life. Playmaker trying to weave his way through. Covers the puck down low in the corner. Potzloff hit. FBK again trying to go back down the other way. What can they do? Chance for Antonio. Can he get a little bit of redemption? Tried to find Afe, and Kape is able to find that one. Gets the face-off.
Yeah, good patience right there. Didn't try to force a pass. Just took the space that was given to him and then tried to find Afe there on the doorstep. Wasn't able to make anything happen.
In the attacking zone here, though, Furion off the legs of a defender. Afe trying to knock that one loose, unable to do so. Try the quick out The quick exit, call it what you will, call it an Omaha. There's so many different names for it, Sin, as we've heard, regardless of where you are. There's a name for it. Didn't work on that occasion, though. Ique offside.
Yeah, but Ique, I mean, again, like just a little tiniest bit of space, almost able to capitalize on it, catch FBK napping.
Chance, puck in the air, it stays out! McSaven somehow keeps that one out. What an opportunity. Keep that one for the season highlight reel. That might be the save of the year. FBK trying to go back down the other way. Shot scores! Unbelievable turn of events. McSaven with an ungodly stop on one end of the ice, and Antonio Mannin gets his revenge down the other way, makes up for the prior mistake. We're tied at 2.
And we said it in the pregame, McSaven gonna have to, live up to that name there. He's sort of flailing around, keeping that puck out, kicks it out. We said, look for him to make a game-changing save. That might have been it right there. Leads to a goal. What a snipe by Antonio. Another lead now for Färjestad.
Again, our producer, the best in the game for getting those 2 replays at you in a moment's notice. An unbelievable stop by McSaven. That's what it takes. We've seen it already in this game. One moment can lead to a big moment down the other way. Final 30 seconds. Ique can't hold on to it. Here's the goal scorer, Antonio Mannin. Drops from Mullen, now the center. Finds Antonio again. Here's Ique, 4 seconds. Loose puck in front. Big stop, and a penalty's called. So FBK have a quick chance here with 3 seconds left, and will likely start the third period on the man advantage. The faceoffs are close. Remember that. It's a key point from Sin. Ique clears. We have ourselves a game.
Yep, and that was absolutely, 2-1 lead now for Färjestad. Yes, the time on attack is, in the favor of Philadelphia as well as the shots, but we talked about it. It's about capitalizing on your chances. Färjestad has done that much more efficiency than in the last one, and they have a power play. We said they won't be able to rely on it, and, Philadelphia doesn't take a whole lot. When they do, they kill them off. This is probably worst case scenario to have a power play. If you're Philadelphia, this is best case. You kind of break up the power play. You stop that first offensive zone face-off, and now you have to start at neutral ice. You have to gain the line, does Färjestad. A bit of an easier kill, you could argue, for Philadelphia, but let's see that second best power play go to work now for Färjestad. We'll see if they can supplant the best penalty kill.
Third period on the way. The picture-perfect PK of Philadelphia so far will be ended here. Furion holds. Down low into the corner, and again gets it back. D to D now. Furion looking. Again finds Lehmanitz. They have the time and space. Loose puck. Covered by Kappe. It's in the lane that they wanted. Clearly not opening up there.
Yeah, they were trying to move around. The problem was it was good puck movement, but not a whole lot of body movement. And Philadelphia was just, holding that box, holding their zones right there. And so if you're FBK, maybe try to, get some bodies moving as well. But great face-off win from Philadelphia. Maybe looking to attack here.
Have a chance. What a stop by McSaven. I thought Teemu had the goal on the short side.
He definitely had the space right there as McSaven came off just a little bit, and the shot kept the puck out, though, however. Now Färjestad got to take this back and get back into the zone.
Loose puck there, recovered by Potzloff. Finds Ique. In front, big stop on Playmaker. We're back to 5-on-5. And the best chances of that power play went to the team that was shorthanded.
Yeah, that's one way to kill a penalty. Get into your opposing zone and get some shots on net. They did that, almost a couple goals from it as well.
And the quick movement doesn't quite work out there. Here's Ique. Dishes off from Mullen. Great job by Loimu, though, to take that away. FBK maintaining possession, though. Let's see what they can do here. Way too much traffic at the line. Stifled once more. Mullen couldn't keep up with that pass offside. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the third.
Yeah, good job from Ique creating some havoc right there. Unfortunately, couldn't get possession off of the almost first turnover. It went to Mullen, who just was about a couple inches or so away from keeping that puck in.
Side down the other way now. One of these days, we should allow fights. It would totally mess up with it. It would totally mess up everything.
Yeah,
I want each team with one game a year. I want a fight night tournament. I want to know who the best fighter is in the elite division. We'll never know. That would be a nightmare, but one of these days we have to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just maybe that'll be an end of the year festivity, bragging rights, just a line brawl. Just all teams, they match up just for one line brawl.
I think we have a new summer cup. We'll call it the Fighters Cup, and yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Coming soon, maybe. I don't know. Big poke check there by Potzloff. McSaven able to cover. Then, as our producer pointed out here, have overtime be decided by a fight.
Yeah, if it goes past 5 overtimes, two goalies have to meet at center ice and fight.
Delightful. Potzloff jumps the gun. Playmaker knocks that one loose. Antonio, a little bit of trouble here. Again, relentless forechecking pressure for Phila. Good movement again, working with Ique on that right-hand side. Back to the point again. Trying to maintain possession, and they do. Ique nearly brute forcing his way into the slot. Here's off a great poke check. Loimu is so stupidly good. Yeah, defensively. Or in general, as playmaker, I think hit the side of the net there on his off wing. Turnover here, though. Loose puck bouncing around, and it's in.
Oh no.
What can you say about that, Sin? Pinballed around after a turnover. I mean, obviously it's a brutal goal to allow, but it's been the turnovers out of their own zone that have led to plays like that.
Yeah, that comes from the pressure for Philadelphia. You keep allowing them the forecheck. You keep allowing them to force those turnovers. Eventually, something weird's going to happen. It happened right there, and FBK once again now going to have to try to break this tie. Errant pass, though. Are they going to get sloppy with the puck again? They can't afford to do that here down the stretch.
Again, it's a tie game, but it might feel like Philadelphia has the lead after that one. So much pressure on FBK. Very, very tough goal to give up. Tough goal to bounce back from mentally. Sen, you said it earlier. Defending champs in Philadelphia, multiple time champions. That blood in the water idea of, okay, we got one, let's keep pouring it on. We saw it in that first game. Playmaker's pass around the back of the net doesn't go. 6 minutes to play. Time it well at the line. Mullen down low. Afe's going to win the race to this one. Turns it over, though, to Loiman. Stretch pass. Playmaker has it. Chipped all the way to the far side. Ique recovers. Goes for the wrap. Second chance. Puck still loose, and McSaven will cover.
Yeah, and, talking about that Philadelphia pressure, I want to touch back onto what you said about Loimu. I mean, that poke, not only was it a filthy poke and perfectly timed, but he stopped a 2-on-1 from developing at the blue line. That is incredibly impressive.
Again, FBK have control off the face-off. Stretch pass to Afe. I mean, Loimu is just having himself a game right now in terms of shutting down anything. I really think they need to start looking for Afe in behind the defense. He gets the puck, he's got nowhere to go. Playmaker tried to find Ique. It's intercepted by Laminens. Immediately Antonio gets hounded by Teemu. That pass doesn't work, and that's the issue. If you're FBK, you got to get rid of it, and you got to get rid of it fast. By any means necessary. We're down to the final minute and a half. There it is. There's the attempt. Kept alive. No icing, at least. But again, Loimu able to get involved. Potzloff can do. Loose puck. Ique nearly came up with that one. On the back of the net, Furion weak pass, but it works out. Antonio Manning. To find off a good quick movement here. Somehow timed at the line. Laminens trying to hold on to this one. Goes to the point. Ique's there. Mullen still has it. Poked away by Teemu. 30 seconds to play now. Playmaker. At least not offside. Ique gives chase. FBK perhaps for the last rush of the game. Stifled below the goal line. Recovered. Phila with a chance. 9 seconds to work with. Here they come down the ice. And mistimed. Surprisingly so.
Yeah, maybe looking for that one more chance. Had to drop it back, but, knew they were running short on time. You have to try to get over that line with speed. Unfortunately, missed time, but I'm sure they have a neutral zone face-off play. We'll see if they break it out. But good win by FBK right there. Gets in.
More chance for Lehmanens as he rifles one wide. So, at the very least, FBK bounce back from that rough first game, a 5-0 loss. They earn a point here. Potentially lucky to have said point.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit. In that first game, we said they're a bit unfortunate to not score any goals. That being said, they did allow 5. Hard to think they could have come back in that one. This one, they get the point. But if you're Philadelphia, you're already guaranteed 3 points. This is already, against a team like FBK, still a win as we get another look at that sequence from McSavid there. And again, that in-tight opportunity from Teemu as he, started to kind of back up and look to cross around there in case the wrap was coming. Teemu almost sneaking it in on that short side, but McSavid has had to come up big. He made some game-changing saves. That first one that we saw in slow motion led to a goal, but now overtime. FBK, they got to get this next goal, and you don't want to tempt fate and have McSavid have to make another big save. Try to get hit now on this first possession.
Or worst case, we just get into a fight and decide it quickly. Here's Mullen along the half wall, back to the point, shot off the leg of Loimu. How many times have we mentioned him in this broadcast? Here's Playmaker with speed, not able to get past Furion. Playmaker again off the back of the net, gets it to Ique. Playmaker tried to go in front of Potzloff. Loimu can't put that one through. Not often you want to say someone should emulate the Toronto Maple Leafs, but maybe the Leafs of a few years ago, Sin, where it was just dump the puck, hope your forwards can get it. Because as it is, you're still seeing that much pressure back in your own zone regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see an offsides here. But yeah, I mean, sometimes just chip it out a bit. And you got Afe up there who is maybe low on stamina, but when he's got his legs going, he can probably get to just about any puck.
A loose puck here, kept in the zone. Potzloff has it. Ique couldn't find Playmaker. Good pressure from Lehmanens. Again, another interception. Again, Philadelphia looking to weave their way through. Loimu has it over the line. Nowhere to go, though. Good defense. Here's Afe with a step on Teemu. Spins! Couldn't tuck it home! What a chance there for FBK, but Kape is there to make another stop, Sin.
That was the perfect move to pull off. It was a great job from the defense, cutting his angle off, unable to cut across, so he tries the spin move around, get that shot away, but just couldn't pull the trigger.
That puck knocked loose, thrown on, doesn't find its way to its intended target. Antonio, hounded by Potzloff, still. Färjestad hold on to the puck. See what they can do here. Lehmanen's able to find Mullen. They'll go back to the point. Trouble with Ique. Lehmanen still has it. Mullen again down low, looking in front. Afe still poking away at it. Kape says no. Fury on the Mullen. Loose puck taken away. Potzloff now. Not able to find the pass. Loimu stepping up. Back to Potzloff. Hit the side of the goal. Game's opening up a little bit here. Good poke check by Mullen. Afe finds its way all across the neutral zone now and turned over by Lehmanens. 7 minutes to play here. Villa not able to find their way through. Afe again forced to drop back. He just has no space. Mullen takes a tour of his own zone, tries to quicken on net. Kape forced to make the save. Afe pays for poking at the goaltender.
Yeah, putting that puck in net, gets absolutely laid out and then stood over the insult to injury. Look at the aggressive face-off, though. Good win.
Keeping the goaltender on his toes. This one in the attacking zone. Little Lehmanens. Now Furion, brutal turnover, but he's let off the hook for the moment. Potzloff still trying to hold on to it. Does. Gets it on net. McSavid able to squeeze the pads and get that cover.
Yeah, that just goes to show you. You try to stretch the game out just a little too much at the wrong time. Philadelphia can make it pay for it. The inside chance didn't look like much, but once they gained that zone, they just looked more and more dangerous.
See what FBK can do here, trying to get it down the other way. Big toe drag from Mullen into open space. Earns it over the pass, just not there. Playmaker cuts back. Has Ique. Potzloff swings, still swinging at it. McSavid is there to cover.
He had to be on his toes right there as the puck got deflected, and he kind of had to pad it away. It wasn't the intended target, but it changed direction, goes on net anyway, and it's getting deadly here for Philadelphia. And if you're FBK, you got to be hoping you can get out of this one soon. The problem is, how do you get into the zone? The blue line pressure from Philadelphia, as you see again, they force an offside where they hit there, even a hit after the whistle, letting them know that, no, you're not going to shoot on my goalie again after the play. You're not even getting that puck into the zone. And we're going to maybe have a timeout. Yeah. A timeout coming. So, I think this is going to be for Philadelphia. So they want to get those stamina bars back up there. And if you're FBK here, you got to be hoping, you got to find some way, just some laps in coverage where you can sneak Afe behind the defense. At this point, maybe you're thinking he should save some of his stamina, because every time he's tried to get around Loimu's there, and Protman, another body oftentimes. So it's such a tough situation for FBK, just finding it so difficult to enter that zone. And when they do enter it, it sure as heck isn't clean. So what can you do? What adjustment can be made against that sort of a presence at the blue line that Philadelphia has?
As mentioned in chat, God help us if this goes to 5 overtimes. You never know. If I'd be willing to pay someone to take a dive. Villa trying to lead it back down the other way here. Mistimed at the line. Can somebody save us from double overtime? Over the line there, poked away. Potzloff tries the quick out. Playmaker gives chase. Cancels the icing. Ique. Not able to hold on to it. We approach the final minute here.
1 minute left in the overtime period.
And we are still good to go. A near issue with Discord, because we haven't had enough of those. Stop it! What a stop! Nobody wants to lose. Potzloff the chance. Playmaker tried to go back to him. Still incredible chances on both ends here.
Yeah, huge. I mean, that's the best chance that Färjestad has had, and Kape makes a crazy save right there. I believe that was Afe on that far side, getting the shot away, but an even better stop from Kape to keep this game alive for Philadelphia, who went down the other way, got a huge chance of their own. 30 seconds left here in this first overtime. See if any team can find a late heartbreaking goal, or if we're destined for the double OT.
Down low in the corner, Teemu holds. 20 seconds here. Mistimed at the line once more. So here we are. The overtime continuing, 13 seconds. And it always seems to be in the summer season that the overtime seem to pop up.
Yeah, absolutely. When, the ACs have to be on a bit of a lower setting or just off to prevent any noise happening. One more shot attempted will be turned aside. But yeah, second overtime will have to decide this thing. I mean, we saw some good chances, some cautious play coming out, caution not being thrown into the wind, obviously. But we still saw the chances come out. We still saw the little bit of gaps of coverage. And I got to say, the best chance came from Färjestad there with the terrific stop from Kape. I mean, that's just how good of a goaltender he is. Sometimes it doesn't seem like he stops a lot of shots. You kind of forget at times that he can come up with those amazing, just game-changing saves. And that was it. That was a game saver. It kept Philadelphia in it and ready for this second overtime. We'll see if they can kind of repay Kape for that effort there and pick up the 4th point in this one.
So we continue onward. Double overtime. That slap shot goes wide. Interesting look from Playmaker. I mean, you never know what how these games are going to go, Sin. You never quite know. Double overtime, triple overtime, 5 overtimes. It always seems to be with these top teams. Playmaker gains the line. Has Ique. Chance. Bouncing puck off the pads of McSaven. We're going to go for Ique in the neutral zone. Stretch pass to Ique. Quickly loses it. The quick out. On net. Nearly caught Kape. Ique tried to go back to the point and there was nobody there.
That's a rough one right there for FBK. It was such a good. He had more time with it. I feel like he tried to rush that pass just a little bit, trying to set something up as he looked to the slot. It wasn't open. Tried to send it back, but kind of everyone was, looking to get themselves in a shooting position. Seeming like everyone's a bit as antsy as we are here. The deeper into overtime you go, you're kind of looking more and more for that game winner. Huge hit by Teemu, trying to create the transition, and it doesn't actually work out for them.
Playmaker cutting in, loose puck, McSaven fights it off. Ique takes the hit. So might go down for icing. It does not. Trouble there, though, for Loimu. But again, Phil will survive. The attacking zone, not able to hold on to it. Who wants to walk away with that extra point? That is the question.
There's got to be a game winner on one of these sticks. FBK going with the dump and chase here. Ique unable to get to it. We'll see what Philadelphia can do on this counterattack here. Looking for numbers and do gain that blue line despite the immense amount of white jerseys there.
A shot from Loimu blocked down in front. Loimu again tries to throw it on with Ique in front. Just doesn't find its intended target. Starting to see different looks from these teams, but still no answer. Mullen to Ique. Mullen again had a goal in this game. Turned over. Ique, one defender to beat, has playmaker with him. Poked away. Backhand swipe by Loimu. We may have saw the save of the year from McSaven. And I thought we just saw the goal of the year from Loimu.
Wow. It swats it backhanded, and fortunately for McSaven, it kind of hits him right there, but talk about fortune!
And just like that, out of nowhere, it ends. Philadelphia stay undefeated on the season. I mean, Sid McSaven did everything he could.
Absolutely, and Loimu, maybe a little case of, in his opinion, the puck don't lie. Maybe thought he should have been credited with that no-look backhand mid-air baseball swing that hit McSaven. Gets the one-timer off of the face-off. That one beats McSaven, and Philadelphia walk away with the 4 points. FBK only getting 1 out of the possible 4. That hurts. You know they wanted at least 2 out of this. They wanted somehow to get the split. They were right in it in this one till the end. But think back to that save that Kape made off of Ique. I mean, just a terrific job of getting over to stop that one-timer. And that's what great goaltenders do, is they make huge saves at key moments. We saw it a bit earlier from McSaven. He made that huge save, and then Antonio went down and scored that go-ahead goal, but Philadelphia, again, came back and tied it until they got that overtime goal. And, remaining undefeated against a team in Färjestad who really, despite that first game, gave this club a run for their money. I don't think they played well or poorly at all. I mean, yeah, the stats a little bit more in favor of Philadelphia, but they're just so strong on that cycle. How do you keep the puck out of their hands?
I think the problem is that you don't. It's just one of those things that it just, what they're going to provide. You know what kind of opposition there's going to be. Ultimately, I think FBK had a great chance to win that game in regulation. You look at both goals directly off of turnovers from Färjestad. Nobody to blame but themselves. And then, of course, the overtime goal was a little bit different. So all comes out in the wash. Again, Philadelphia up to 8-0 on the season now.
Yeah.
And for Färjestad, down to 5-3. So, the record goes from 5-1 to 5-3. It looks a little bit different in that way. We'll see what happens moving forward. Aside from that, of course, if you guys missed it, we do have the latest results from around the league. Earlier in this broadcast, of course, we covered a series between Poggers and, some pretty good competition in IQ. Both games going to Poggers. You see as well, Rusty Blades splitting a series with ZSC Esports. Huge results there. YMCA, a 4-2 win over Ippe Vaskala. What is going on there with those two teams? Maybe the inverse of what we expected. Again, a lot of stuff going on right now. NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. This has absolutely lived up to the hype as just being a silly season. It's ridiculous, and it's been a good ride so far. Of course, we're from over in a 30-game regular season. Of course, make sure as well, while Sin and I are done for this week, NHL Gamer is not done this week in Elite Action. Of course, tomorrow, that broadcast in Finnish. We got a couple more matchups for you as well. So make sure to follow the channel to check those out. You see there, Goons and Kova, Sawa, and Havu. We'll see what Havu does against another team with playoff aspirations. Of course, as always, ECL action brought to you by Viaplay, Wilhelm, and Kovalan Lakritzi. Sin, it's been an interesting stream due to our connectivity issues. I mean, all things considered, we made it through again, though. It's a testament to the team that we have here. More great games to cover. It's been fun. It's been fun having the ECL back.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the season's just going to heat up more and more as summer goes on. Pun intended, all things intended. This is going to be great. You're not going to want to miss any of these future broadcasts here for sure. So definitely be sure to tune in. As we mentioned, we get to see the big three teams all this week. We saw H-Reds. We just saw Philadelphia. Havu up tomorrow. Not going to want to miss that one either.
Again, Sin and I will see you back here on Monday, but we hope to see you in chat tomorrow. Till then. We'll catch you later. Have a good one. Take it easy. And more overtimes to come this season. I can't help but think.
Wilhelm vie nakkikioskille kotikatsomossa.